Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review, where today it is Crystal Palace, Newcastle United, Premier League. And you can catch all the commentary live here, right on the Toon Review. And, of course, it's on TV, so if you want to mute the TV, listen to us, and you'll get a much better commentary, as you well know by now. So welcome to the show, everybody. If you do enjoy it, as usual, please do hit the like button for me. And, of course, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. And, of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. Now, as you can see, we have a subscriber count there. Hopefully, that'll go up throughout the day towards the 17K, which will be a brilliant achievement. We really want to push towards 20 before the end of the transfer window, if we can get there. But good afternoon, everybody. And we have a super chat straight off the bat from Arturo with a €20 super chat. Thank you very much. And yeah, he's shouting Bruno, because as I think everybody is aware now, Bruno starts for Newcastle United this afternoon. I am very, very shocked, I have to say. I did not expect Bruno to make the starting lineup given the state of his ankle earlier in the week. Is this a risk? I don't know. Only time will tell on that one. We've seen so many times Bruno perform absolutely, miracles. Well, today is going to have to be one, because if he's 100% fit, then that is an incredible turnaround for Bruno to be fit for this game. And, the performing against Palace. But we go with Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, Dan Burn, Bruno, Longstaff, Willock, Almiron, Joelinton and Wilson. So an unchanged team. Let me know what you think of that. It's very, very interesting that we've gone with that team. Personally, I might have started Isak ahead of Wilson today. I don't think Wilson's been at the races too much in the last few games, but he might go and score a hat-trick this afternoon. Now I've said that. Crystal Palace, well, they line up with Guaita in goal, Ward, Gehi, or Gay, however you want to pronounce that, Richards, Mitchell, Schlupp, Ducore, Ayew, Eze, Zaha, and Edouard. So Elise is on the bench, of course, after that fantastic free kick against Manchester United midweek. So that is interesting as well. As far as I'm concerned, Elise is a very, very good player. But for me, looking at that Palace side, I think we are very, 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 very much good enough to beat Crystal Palace today. And pretty much... Look, I said 2-0 in my prediction. I'm not going to go back on that. I think 2-0 is a fair score. Just to bring you up to date on the Premier League scores today, Liverpool, of course, drawn 0-0 with Chelsea earlier on in the day. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 1, Leicester 2, Brighton 2, Southampton 0, Villa 1, and West Ham 2, Everton 0. Now, is that the end of Frankie Lampard? That is the question. It was El Sacico today, and of course, who knows? But we shall see. Anyway, let's get some of your comments in. Keith buzzing that Bruno is playing 2-0 the Toon. Solo says, afternoon all. Wow, Bruno starts, great recovery, but hope we don't regret it. That's the worry. Now, that's not to say that that is going to be the case. He's playing because he's fully fit to play, as far as I'm concerned. So we just have to wait and see. But I just hope we don't regret it. And I hope that he doesn't break down at some point during the match, because that would be an absolute disaster as far as I'm concerned. But look, let's just support him and see how he goes. Marius said, I hope they don't start Bruno too soon. Huge game for Wilson today. Needs a goal. He does, because he knows, like you say there, Solo, Isak's breathing down his neck as well. And Isak will want to play in that cup game. There's no doubt about it. Isak is ready to go. He's raring to go, actually. So we'll just wait and see on that one. Come on, the Toon. Carlos, good afternoon. Paul Sales, afternoon. Stu, good afternoon. Chris Woods has been subbed off. There's a shock. Barbara says, hi, Paul. So looking forward to your unpredictable commentary for this game. We need this win with the other results all going our way. 2-0, please. Wood had a bad first game, and his replacement has possibly just scored. Good morning, Shane. I hope you're well. 3 points today, and we go 12 points clear of Liverpool and Chelsea. JT says, afternoon, Paul, and afternoon all in the chat. Bruno is starting after all. 2-0 to Toon, Miggy and Wilson. That will be very, very handy indeed. Chris Wood sub Sturridge scores for Forest. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I mean, come on. Let's be honest. No spoilers, please. You guys are 30 seconds ahead of me watching on. Yeah, look, that will come on to spoilers for our game a bit later on, but of course we don't kick off for around 22 minutes. Mudryk looked dangerous today. Will be interesting to watch him. Yes, he did, Clarky. I was very impressed with what I saw of him. Very, very, very quick. He's got a lot of pace about him and looks a very exciting player. And, you know, Chelsea didn't do too badly today, in all honesty. I think they were okay. I thought they were actually the better side against Liverpool. Certainly first half. But Clarky says, who's the next Everton manager? Well, there is a question. I was listening to a lot of Everton fans saying they wanted Davy Moyes back, but he's just beat them. So, of course, Steve Bruce is available. Yes, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Fez says 38 points from 19 games. Think we can equal that in the second half of the season and finish on 76 points. That would pretty much guarantee us top four. If we win today, Fez, I think we're in a magnificent position to finish top four. I really do. The gap will be pretty incredible. So let's just hope that we can keep going with that. Big Sam might keep them up. Roy Keane, we are 2 points from safety, says Jock. Indeed, we are. Yes. Now, Clark is going on about VAR. I mean, the points we've lost through the early VAR decisions this season, of course, would have meant that we were much points better off in the table, I think, wouldn't we? So that's unfortunate. Daniel Brown, thank you very much for your £5 super chat, my friend. He says we've got Bruno in the middle, 3-0 to the Toon. Yep. People are very confident now they've seen Bruno on the score sheet. Scouts Mackims are bottom, absolutely. I'm hoping the few draws we've had recently are the so-called bad patch everyone thinks we're going to have, and we just kick on now. Yeah, look, if that's our bad patch out the way, I'll be bloody happy with that, I tell you. The only concern about Bruno starting, is he 100%? I don't think he possibly can be. I don't think he's at like 100%, but obviously, you know, the medical staff have cleared him to play. He says he's okay to play. Let's just see what happens, guys. That's all we can do. Eddie said yesterday he was out 1 to 2 weeks. Eddie says a lot in the press conferences that don't come to fruition. He's very, very clever in them. Bruno playing. Guy's a legend. Evening all. Good afternoon to Nathan. We've got Bruno in the middle. Indeed, we have. How are the lads? Shock horror. Bruno starts, so Craig Hope was correct. We have to remember he ain't that Bruce Stooge, Luke Edwards. Indeed. Evening, Julie. Hope you're well. Colin says he can't believe Bruno is starting. Well, I was shocked when I saw the team sheet, I must admit. But hey, you know what? Bruno will go out there and give 110%. I just hope, and I think every Newcastle fan hopes that, you know, he doesn't get sort of 10, 15 minutes into the game, takes a heavy challenge, because I think they'll target him. And let's face it, if you were Patrick Vieira saying, right, look at that injury he got last week. Do you honestly think he's going to be fully fit? Go out there, test him. That's what I'd be saying if I was Patrick Vieira. So let's just hope he comes through that, and you know, he takes a couple of tackles, and then it's plain and simple to everybody that he's fit to play. I think some of us owe Craig Hope an apology, including me. Fair play. Yeah, look, Craig Hope just said he travelled. He didn't say he would be playing. So you know, there's a difference between travelling and playing. As we saw with Kieran Trippier last season, of course, when he was injured, he travelled all the time with the team. So yeah. Chris Woods was number 39 today. He was indeed. Bruno must be full of painkillers. Well, maybe it's an injection. Terry, good afternoon. Danielle, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Into these, absolutely. Surely they wouldn't risk it if he wasn't fully fit. It's my opinion as well, to be honest, but we'll see. Good evening, Chloe. Everyone's saying hello to Danielle. Surprised he got a start straight away, old Chris Wood. Yeah, I mean, even the Forest managers came out yesterday and said didn't expect him to start. Let's see how many times he starts. Sophia says, hi, everyone. I can't believe Bruno's fit. I'll never doubt Craig Hope again. Nathan says, happy to give Wood a pass straight into it without training with Cooper and squad. Hope he has a nice time at Nottingham Forest. He doesn't want to come back. Afternoon to Carl. Spacebar said he wouldn't have played Bruno. Yeah, good point. I mean, I don't know. There's just something in the back of my mind saying it's a bit of a risk, but you know, Eddie knows what he's doing. That's a certainty. Isak on the bench, booze as dynamics. Yeah, a little disappointing, but we'll see him. He's getting there. Good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing well. Come on, the mighty Toon Army. Good afternoon to Pooley Mag. What's your predictions today? I've gone 2-0, so we'll see. Hi, Paul. Hoping for a nice birthday present tonight. How are the lads? Happy birthday, Will. Hope you've had a good day, my friend. Hopefully we can take a lead and he can be rested. I think, you know, if we look at it logically, that's probably what he wants to do. You know, he probably wants to say, right, you know, hopefully Bruno's fit enough to give us 65 minutes and maybe we can be, you know, a couple of goals up by then. That's certainly what he'll be trying to do. But, of course, it may not work out that way. I just hope we don't start slowly because that's the worry for me, starting slowly and letting Palace dictate the early part of the game, because we have had slow starts in the past, but hopefully this will be a little bit different and we can go out there and really give them a honking. Paul Tully says, afternoon all, not sure about Bruno. I would have rested him. He runs the risk of not being his usual self. Watch, he probably scores and is man of the match now. It wouldn't surprise you, would it? But again, it says the depth in our midfield, though, doesn't it? You know, we worry about the depth that we've got at the minute and why we probably need to go into the transfer window and maybe bring in a midfielder because the depth isn't there. I'm sure if we'd had a couple of quality midfielders, you know, in the squad, Bruno wouldn't start the day. I really genuinely believe that. Dark by Design says 3 points opens up an 8-point gap, top 4 guaranteed, not losing 3 more games, only lost 1. Interesting. Be carnage in East London. Scouts and Mackers will be ripping the place up. Yeah, they won't be happy. Good evening, Ian. He's going for a 2-1 win. Warren says Everton are going down. Relegation party is on. Ben says morning all, 1 a.m. here. Happy. Hopefully a great result and other results have gone our way. Hi from South Africa. Hope we can get another win. Abdul says, any rumour for new player in this transfer market? Not at the minute. Obviously, it's game day today, so things will be a little quiet on that front, to be honest. Good afternoon to Rachel, Modern there, and of course, no spoilers. Yeah, we always do this. Basically, I'm watching on my normal stream. I'm not watching it on Sky or anything like that. So if you're ahead of us, please do not put any spoilers into the chat. They will be removed by the mods, and you'll get one warning, and then you'll be out on your ear if you keep putting spoilers in. So wait till I've made a comment during commentary on the situation, and then we can all chat about it. People might be behind me, people might be in front of me, so that's why we say no spoilers. Let's just enjoy the game together. Obviously, if you're in front of me, you can pause your TV these days. You can pause Sky. And wait for me to say, right, we've kicked off, and then you'll be right up to date with me for the commentary. So it's up to you what you do that way, but don't put anything in the chat until I've mentioned it in commentary. Thank you very much, guys. Samsonite says, I'm the exact opposite. I would have been absolutely shocked if Bruno hadn't started today. Interesting. Why are Everton attacking with Lampard? He's took them backwards, but their fans want to blame the board for everything. Strange club. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a mess down there. Chloe says, just being told to stop commenting on another channel as it isn't my place to speak on men's football, so I'm glad to chill here. Hope everyone is okay. Chloe, you are very, very welcome here. Please do subscribe. It is a fantastic family atmosphere on this channel, and you certainly won't be told not to put a comment about men's football. That's ridiculous and really sexist, and I'm quite surprised another channel has let that happen. So I do apologize that you've had to go through that, Chloe, but you are very, very welcome in the Toon review, as the subs and viewers will say to you. They are a brilliant bunch in here, and it's really friendly. Anyone who's not is out, so just enjoy yourself on here. Didn't Bruno's foot look like an eggplant a few days ago? It did. That's why I'm shocked he's playing. Elliot's a bit annoyed he took Bruno out his fantasy Premier League. I think a few people did, mate. I'm not sure you're the only one who did that. Bench is looking strong for forwards. Indeed, it is. Absolutely. Bruno, he wears a magic hat and a magic sock. Yes, without a doubt, it's a magic sock. There is clearly he's been putting something magic on that foot all week, because it literally was, as the commenter said there, it was an eggplant. It was ridiculous. But there you go. The powers of recovery at the Toon are incredible at the moment. KB, good afternoon. He's going 1-0 to us, as is Jordan. Spacebar says, Chloe, ignore the fools. Absolutely. Not okay, Chloe. You're welcome here. Exactly. As I thought everybody might just welcome Chloe. So thank you very much. 4 changes for Palace is interesting. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the thing is, Vieira will have gone for his what he thinks is his strongest side and try and get something from the game. It's a very difficult game for Palace today as well. I mean, Palace played very well in midweek against Manchester United. Will fatigue be a problem? I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. I'm not sure it will. I'm sure we'll have the lads fired up. But if we do get an early goal, or we do get a couple of goals in front, maybe we'll just rock their confidence, which will, yeah. It'll be good. James from the Cayman Islands, good morning. Hope you're well, mate. And I hope we get a fantastic game for you watching over there. John's back door, good afternoon to you. Sophia said Kieran Dye is looking old. I think Kieran Dye has been through a bit of a bad time for health-wise. I'm not sure. I'm sure it rings a bell with us that he's had a bit of a problem health-wise. Bit risky playing Bruno, says Pedro. Surely he's still got to be a bit sore, I would imagine. I like coffee. Good afternoon to you. Stefan, good afternoon. Samsonite says, no judgmental attitude here, Chloe. Welcome aboard. Jock says, Chloe, take no notice. You're welcome here. David saying, goodbye, Frank. Yeah, I'll be amazed if he keeps his job now. I mean, that was a huge pressure game for him today. And basically, Everton have failed. They haven't come through it. And they need a change, or else they're going down. There is no doubt in my mind that if they don't make a change very shortly, Everton are going down. And as everybody knows, I hold Everton in such high regards. I'll be looking forward to seeing them in the Championship. Couldn't be happier about Everton. Hate the Scouse Mackhams. Let's bring football back to the Newcastle. Absolutely, Colton. Absolutely. Paul, would you take Gordon? I said this on the show yesterday. To be honest, no. I don't. Look, he may well thrive under Eddie Howe, and that's what I've been reading. A lot of people saying, look, why are we doubting on Anthony Gordon? He could come in and Eddie Howe could just change him completely. I agree with that. But then again, he's been on the subs bench a lot this season, and you have to ask yourself why. Something's not quite right. Yes, he had a good season last year. It was his breakout season, though. So, the second season syndrome seems to have kicked in with Anthony Gordon. But then again, nothing's going well at Everton at all at the minute, is it? So, there could be a multitude of reasons why he's not playing very well. But for me, no, I think there's better players out there. If there was even the slightest doubt that Eddie wouldn't play Bruno, yeah, Blakey, but you've got to remember, we're very, very, very thin on midfielders. So, I'm pretty positive myself if we'd have had a couple of quality midfielders. I don't think Bruno would have started today. And that's why we need a bigger squad. Simple as that. Hi, Paul and the Saturday crew. Love the dream team. And while things are always in our hands, results seem to be going our way too. Excited for a great game. 2-0 to the Toon. Thanks very much, David. Lidis says, favorite Toon channels. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Did not expect Bruno to start. Hope it goes well. Alan says we get a week off after Southampton. Yes, we do. Of course, it's FA Cup weekend, 4th round next week. So we kind of get that weekend off, but we're in action straight away on the Tuesday. So it's not like we're missing a lot of games, but we miss that weekend. I like coffee says one of my friends was a lifelong supporter of Liverpool, but I saw him in a Newcastle shirt today, and he's now a Newcastle fan. Wow. Okay. That's changing allegiance well and truly. Not sure how I feel about Bruno starting too soon. Yeah, there's a lot of people worried if Bruno is starting too soon. It seems to be an ongoing thing in the chat. But the medical staff and Bruno and Eddie know better than we do. So, Keith, thank you very much for your $20 super chat over there in the States. On the way up to Philly for this Eagles playoff game, we'll have you on the whole drive. 1-0 Magpies, hope all is well. Thank you very much, Keith, and safe drive over there towards Philly. Magpies says, I don't know what would be more exciting, qualifying for the Champions League football or seeing Everton get relegated. Well, both, Magpie. I mean, just think of it. If we finish in the top four, we have a huge Champions League party and celebrate Everton getting relegated as well. It doesn't get any better than that. Pedro says a big no-no for Gordon. Peter says Bruno is indestructible, as he is. By the way, Billy will be coming on at halftime to give his assessment of the game and at full time as well. The full review show, that will be tomorrow. Not sure what time yet, so just keep an eye on your notifications and keep an eye on the channel and social media and stuff like that. We'll let you know when that show is going to be tomorrow. Santosh, good afternoon. He says, I hope Wood does well and Forest stay up. Then we can get rid of him permanently. 8 points clear of Spurs, who are fifth if we win today. Absolutely. Blakey would rather have Flash Gordon than Anthony Gordon. Yep. I have to agree. I'm not sold on him. I'm really not. Look, if he did sign, would I support him? Of course I would. He'd be pulling on a black and white shirt, and we'd be supporting him no matter what. That's the difference. You know, he pulls on a Newcastle United shirt, we support him. 100% we support him. But he hasn't signed. So let's just see. Clone Lad says, no chance Gordon leaves now, as will likely be a change in manager. That's a good point as well. Duncan Ferguson in line for the Everton job. I'm surprised he's never had it. You know, I mean, I know he's had it sort of temporarily and things like that, but just the love he has for that club and the passion that he's got, I think would really stir them on to avoid relegation. Arturo, thanks again for another €20. Yeah, Anthony Gordon is shit. Yeah, we don't want him. I certainly don't. Good evening to the Devious Orange. We lost a subscriber there. Unbelievable. Mark says, afternoon all. Glad to see you all. Thanks, Mark. Don't underestimate Palace, says Kevin. Absolutely. Paul says people just better hope that we don't go on the same run as we did second half of last season. And imagine that. Well, if we do that, then we're guaranteed Champions League. If we continue that, that would be absolutely awesome. No way Eddie would put on Bruno unless 100% fit. Going 2-0 with Wilson and Almiron. Yes, good. That would do. That would do. Everton's $700 million stadium, a wow factor, risk worth taking. Yeah, well, they could start off in the Championship with that magnificent stadium. Afternoon, Stu. Hope you're well. Can't wait for the game today. I said 1-0 Toon, and I'll stick with that. Julie Cesare signings. I said this on John's show. If the club signs players people hate, I trust how Dan and co 110%. They will only go for players they can manage and improve. Have faith. Yes, exactly. I do believe that Eddie Howe would change it around and do something really good, but at the same time, I just don't want Anthony Gordon. I don't think he's actually good enough. It's not that I hate him. I don't like the kid, to be honest, but it's footballing reasons that I don't want him. Paul, do you think the team will fly back tonight or will stay down south for the game on Tuesday? I'm not sure. I know a lot of fans have gone down there for 5 days, staying down south. So I'm not sure. Well, look, these days, a flight from Southampton, less than an hour home. So I think they'll probably come back, but we'll see. As a Brighton fan, I hope you beat the scum. Thank you very much. Mark says, can see a difficult game today. Need to be back to our best. We don't want the last thing we want is to start slowly because we know what the atmosphere is like at Palace. They come out very hard, very fast. The fans get behind them, and it can be difficult at times. But look, I'm fully confident that we will be ready for this game. So strange seeing Bruno start Eddie mind games. Well, he clearly played mind games in his press conference yesterday. Big right hand says, I read all. Now, I know you said no spoilers, but Newcastle just won 4-0. Think I might just have had too much morphine. I think you have, buddy. I can't believe Longstaff starts over Maximin. Well, I can, because they play two very, very different positions. And look, he wants Bruno in that position. And again, he's very happy with this 11 that he's got. This 11 are very much used to playing with each other. So, we just let's just support them. I mean, I'm quite happy that it's the same 11, as long as that same 11 is bloody fully fit. Because that is the worry we all have, is whether the players are fully fit. But I expect them to be. I don't expect any problems, to be quite honest with you. Bruno will score with his dodgy foot. Bet you a pint. That'd be nice. I mean, I'm not betting a pint, because I think you're right. I think Bruno probably will score. But David says he's had to score at least one goal in the second half. Look, he'd be raring to come on. That's a certainty. He'd be absolutely raring to get on that pitch. Saw a thumbnail for a Forest podcast with a pic of Chris Wood. He did not look happy. Clearly does not want to be there. Look, I think if he's going to get first team games and he's going to get starts, I think he'd be perfectly happy to be there. Bruno posted a pic on Facebook earlier of little Matteo in a little Toon outfit. Yeah, I've seen that. It's fantastic. Kevin says, I've sprained my ankle multiple times. Some of you can run it off in a few days. Others will put you out for months. It was just a swelling. I think that's what really got to me, was just the swelling. It was huge, like an eggplant. It really was. So I'm extremely surprised, but extremely happy he's playing. That's a no-brainer. I'm really happy he's playing. So there you go. But we're loading up the match now, and we're just looking at the team sheets. Now, remember, guys, please, no spoilers. Absolutely no spoilers. If you're ahead of me, pause the game until I say we're underway, and then you can be level with me. But please, no spoilers in the chat. Wait till I've mentioned it in commentary, and then we can talk about it. So please, no spoilers at all. And I'll be very grateful for that, if we can just have a nice watch along without anybody trying to ruin it for anybody else. Newcastle are in the green and white shirts today. And at the moment, they're just all high-fiving each other, ready to go. Just get the clock ready to kick off. Just seeing Eddie Howe and Jason Tyndall, as usual, side by side on the touchline. Eddie looking very passive. And we're just seeing Bruno talking to Fabian Schär. Bruno with his silver hair, chewing on the chewing gum there as Newcastle get into a huddle ready to go. So remember, if you've got Sky, just pause it if they're kicking off in front of me. And I'll tell everybody, I'll say, and we're off. And then you can unpause your Sky and follow me as well on here. Bruno looking pretty confident, to be honest. He doesn't look like a man who's worried about anything, but I'm sure Palace will test him very, very early doors. But we're ready to go. And it is going to be Newcastle kicking us off, and we're underway at Selhurst Park. So here we go, guys. The match underway. Howe, the bloody lads. Botman plays the ball long very early on, looking for Callum Wilson. Trying to give them hell already. Willock, Joe Linton, Wilson. Nice little combination there between the three. But Palace are in there very, very quickly. And Ayew tries to break now for Palace. Flicks it over the top of Botman. Bruno comes across and puts him off a little bit. And Newcastle United win the throw-in off Ayew, as we just look at a very pensive-looking Patrick Vieira. Palace have the ball now, spread it wide. The problem is that Newcastle will need to keep the press on very early if they did sort of just slow Palace down early doors. That's what we want. We don't want Palace having a few chances very early on. As they come forward here, Botman comes across, slight little miss by, he missed the ball, managed to get it to Schär. Schär plays it forward, nobody there in midfield to take it for Newcastle. As Palace come forward now, Ayew again, looking for the right-hand side with Kelly. Kelly could block that by Dan Burn. Now Bruno, his first touch of the game, rolls it up to Callum Wilson. Again, Wilson had 4 players all over him. Longstaff Can't do anything with the ball. Palace swamping us a little bit at the minute when they're getting on the ball, and that will keep the crowd involved. We need to knock the crowd out of this game, I think. That's probably our best option. He's Kelly. Sorry, it's not Kelly. It's Ward on the right-hand side. I do apologise. Ward pulls it back, and Palace have it in their own half now. Wilson trying to close them down. Played out to the left-hand side. And here is, well, Zaha trying to get his first touch of the ball. He loses it. Great bit of play by Miggy. Trippier, little outside the foot dink to Bruno. Bruno now turns, rolls it across to Dan Burn. Wasn't the best of balls that by Bruno, but we survived. Botman up to Joe Linton. Joe Linton is beaten to the ball by Ward, and forward come Crystal Palace again. It's played out to the right to Ward, but he can't keep it in. It's overhit. But Palace are jumping into the ball and are getting to the ball first. Certainly in the opening couple of minutes of this game, it's Palace that are certainly showing their hand more so than us at the minute. It's with Dan Burn in the corner. Nice little roll up to Willock. Bruno, Longstaff, Botman now just chips it out. Again, Palace first to the ball. Zaha now. Ayew just a little slightly overhit by Zaha, and it goes out for a goal kick. I think this might concern Eddie early doors, because I know that we're only, 3 minutes in, but I think Eddie will be pretty disappointed that we're letting Palace get to so many of these loose balls. The 50-50s and everything, Palace are winning at the minute, but hey-ho, it hasn't come to anything yet, and we know we always take our time to settle into games. That's just the way it is at Newcastle. But His Royal Holiness Nick Pope is going to take the goal kick. And right up the field it goes towards Callum Wilson again. Just a little shove on the defender. Did well. Willock now. Willock bursting forward. But again, Palace managed to get the ball. Botman plays it forward. Longstaff can't take that. It was where the pass was well away from him. It wasn't Longstaff's fault. That great play by Botman. And a very, very late tackle. However, the referees decide to pull it back. And we're going to see a yellow card here in the first 5 minutes of the game. And it's to Guay. He is in the book. All right. It was very late, I have to say, on Botman. Botman, I mean, Gay played it away. He overran the ball. Botman just chipped it over him, and then a very, very late tackle. There's no doubt about that's a yellow card. That's quite a painful one on the shins of Sven Botman. So there he is, the first yellow card of the game in the first 5 minutes. And he's angry with himself, actually, the Palace defender guy there, because he should have done better. He shouldn't have gone diving in like that, especially first 5 minutes. That puts him on a big risk for the rest of the game now, which he'll not be happy about. But for our point of view, it's fantastic. Ian and Paul, my friend, hope you're well. Geordie Mick, feel like this one will be a tasty game, says Danielle. Yeah. Free kick taken by Trippier towards the Palace box, flicked on by Dan Burn, then by Botman. It comes to Joe Linton, now on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Back to Joe Willock. Willock pulls it back to Longstaff. Longstaff looking for, again, somebody to make a run. He's found Joe Linton. Joe Linton plays it back inside to Fabian Schär. Now to Botman. That's played all the way back now to Kieran Trippier. Trippier launches a right foot ball way across the field. And Longstaff is going to be first onto that. Plays the ball to Fabian Schär. I think he was more looking for Miggy than Schär there, but never mind. Botman now. Kieran Trippier. Trippier again. Pings one out to the left-hand side this time. Joe Willock just slightly too high for him. And Jordan Ayew will bring it away for Crystal Palace. Rolled it forward now. But Joe Linton intercepts. Newcastle starting to feel the legs a little bit now. Playing the way into this game. Almiron to Longstaff, back to Fabian Schär. Schär, lovely ball into Bruno, turns, brings the ball forward for Newcastle United towards the left-hand side, finds Joe Willock. Willock's got Bruno in support again. Willock then goes on one of them, Maraud, and runs down the left-hand side. He's got the pace of Ward, there's no doubt about it. The cross comes in. Miggy! It's in! And Newcastle United have taken the lead. Or have they? No. Miggy put it in the net, but unfortunately, I think the offside flag's up. I'm not sure why, to be honest. Let's have another look. Brilliant ball across. Miggy hits it. Oh, no, he's put it wide. Oh, I thought it was in the net. The back of the net rolled, and I thought Miggy had scored, but he's put it wide. Massive opportunity for Miggy Almiron, and he's put it wide of the post. Brilliant work, though, from Newcastle there to get the position. And, back of the net, but the wrong side of it. Do apologise, but there you go. It was difficult to see on the camera angle at full pace there, but hey-ho. I haven't got the benefit of a commentator in my ear, unfortunately. I just see what's going on the pitch. And I thought it was in, but never mind. Anyway, players back underway now. Newcastle really starting to get themselves into this game now, and that just proves that opportunities are there, certainly with Joe Willock down the left-hand side, along with Joe Linton. I mean, Joe Linton's playing that left-wing position at the minute, but we know how they can interchange throughout the game. Long ball forward. Yeah, sorry, Abs, I've been a twat. I said we'd scored, but never mind. Just the camera angle, everyone will agree. I mean, obviously, if you're listening to the commentary or somewhere else, they probably would have said, that the ball had gone wide. But the way I saw it there, the ball was rolling across the back of the net, and it seemed as if it had gone in. And I wondered why Miggy wasn't celebrating. But never mind. It was close. It was an opportunity. As Newcastle win a throw in right on the halfway line here, which Trippier will take. Botman plays it out to Dan Burn. Dan Burn turns, rolls it up to Joe Linton. Beautiful little backflip by Joe Linton, and sets again. Willock away down the left-hand side. He's got all the way at the byline, and I think he's won it's gone for a goal kick. It was very unlucky, but again, Joe Willock's pace down that left-hand side is causing all sorts of problems. What a lovely little backflip that was by Joe Linton to send Willock away. Just took a heavy touch, and it was good defending in the end. Played it off Willock's shin and out for a corner. Billy says when the ball hits the net, but it just hasn't yet. That's a historic. Cheers, buddy. I'm sure you would agree if you were commentating and you weren't having the commentary in your ears, you would have thought that was a goal. But never mind. Anyway, Palace have the ball now just over the halfway line. Trying to do something here, coming forward. Clipped over. Again, intercepted very well, but this is an opportunity for Palace on the edge of the box now. But again, Newcastle quickly into the tackles, and Fabian Schär just launches one into the stands there for a Palace throw in. Silence says that last couple of minutes will put Palace on the back foot. Well, hopefully it will. I mean, it just the last couple of opportunities that we've had have been fantastic. And again, it's all come from Joe Willock on the left-hand side with interplay from Joe Linton. Here's Miggy now. Plays it right across to Dan Burn. Burn takes control of the ball, slides it to midway point with Joe Linton. Joe Linton turns onto his right foot. Again, lovely little dink over to Bruno now going down the left-hand side. This is the third time we've got in. Bruno cuts back onto his right, plays the ball right across the pitch to Miggy. Miggy to Longstaff. Longstaff sees the run of Trippier, but it's a poor ball. No way was Trippier getting to that. And Longstaff's lost the ball. And Palace trying to break. Miggy wins it back, though, with a brilliant tackle. Now Bruno. Newcastle definitely getting on top here. But as we know, you have to make it count when you're on top in the game. Wafty says, I thought it was a good goal too. Yeah, everyone thought it was a good goal, so not just you, Paul. Thank you very much, Ryan. It's difficult sometimes. Long ball, well intercepted by Ward. Joe Linton trying to get it back. Here now come Palace. Just knocking around in midfield at the minute. Newcastle again just keeping the shape very, very well. But so far, Newcastle have definitely had the better of the last 5 minutes of this game. 3 opportunities, all coming down the left-hand side. Headed away by Botman now. Longstaff, that's a free kick, surely. Pushed in the back, and it is given. Of course, there's Zaha in the background already, spitting his dummy out. Chloe says you can't doubt Almiron defensive support. Absolutely. He does it game after game. Especially if he loses the ball, he's coming right back, he's sliding in, he's getting back and doing what he does best, to be honest, which is really impressive. That's a poor pass again from Longstaff. A couple of giveaways from him in the first 10 minutes of this game. And Palace coming forward and win a corner. Sean wasn't really thinking there. I don't know what he was trying to do, playing the ball out wide. It's straight to a Palace player. Bruno goes over and gives him a little bit of a high five of support. Thank you very much for everybody that has subscribed since we've been on air. Really do appreciate it. If you like the stream, do hit the like button. And, of course, subscribe for free if you're new to the channel. Come and join the community. We really do appreciate it. It's a corner. And Palace will be looking. I mean, we look to have the aerial advantage here. In comes the corner. Dan Burn gets a head on it. And then it comes to Bruno, who heads it out. Not really convincingly, are you? But it goes back to the halfway line now, and Palace will start again. Long ball played in the Newcastle area. However, his holy one is there just to collect the ball, and he gets on with it quickly up to Miggy. Miggy now back to Kieran Trippier at right back. Up to Miggy again on this right-hand side, and he's fouled. And, well, Wilfred Zaha has absolutely the worst haircut I have seen in a long time. I don't know what he's trying to do with that haircut. It is ridiculous. I mean, guys, ridiculous. He looks like some sort of demon out of a fictional program with this weird hair. Anyway, Dan Burn on the ball now. Tries to get around Ayew. Does it, but plays the ball up to Big Joe. Good play by him and finds Bruno. Now Longstaff again. Longstaff, quick ball to Miggy. Miggy immediately sees the run of Trippier out on the right-hand side. Trippier plays it back to Miggy. Miggy's got Longstaff in support. Brilliant ball by Miggy. Longstaff first time in, and it's cleared away for a corner. Much better from Longstaff and much better from Newcastle. Really carved open Crystal Palace there. And again, we look dangerous going forward. There's no doubt about that. And for me, Palace are here for the taking, guys. I really do. Their defense is woeful. It is absolutely woeful. Anyway, we're going to have a corner here. And I'd love Botman just to tower above everybody else here and nod this in. Just get a goal. Anyway, here comes the corner from Trippier. Right to that centre, that's penalty spot area again. Cleared away by Palace. Longstaff, lovely ball out to the right-hand side to Trippier. Trippier knocks it back. Dan Burn! What a good shot that was, but at the near post. The goalkeeper was there, but that was a cracking effort from Big Dan Burn. Beautiful ball by Trippier just to cushion it back, and Burn hits it on his left foot half volley. He's really got a taste for goal now, but the goalkeeper was positioned well and gathered it up and saves. But Palace trying to play the ball out here, and they may regret that. That's a push by Botman, says the referee, on Ayew, and Ayew goes to have a bit of an argument with Botman. Well, Ayew, you're only 2 foot tall, sunshine. I wouldn't bother. Yeah, he went down very, very easy there, did Ayew. I'm not sure what Ayew's beef with is with Botman there, but Botman didn't want to know, just ran away. You're a little bit of a silly boy, Ayew, if you try and take somebody like Botman on. He's like 10 foot bigger than you. But certainly Newcastle United controlling the game at the moment, I have to say. Very first 5 minutes, Palace were into it, but Newcastle have just gathered pace as time has gone on. And we are certainly the better side since probably the 5th minute. We've had lots of opportunities down the left-hand side. Only one shot on goal, though, which came from Dan Burn a couple of moments ago. So we need to test the keeper a little bit more. Chloe says, if I am commenting too much, feel free to tell me to be quiet. Don't be stupid. Everybody's welcome to comment as much as they want on this channel, Chloe. Dan Burns overran that ball, and Palace have it back now with Ayew. Ayew back to Ward now. Plays it back. And Palace go all the way back to the goalkeeper. Wilson doing the closing down, but we've never mentioned Callum Wilson actually in the first 15 minutes of this game. And now Palace come forward again. And that's going to be a free kick. And that could well be a yellow card. Trippier will be lucky to get away with that, I think. And of course, the Palace players are all surrounding the referee looking for Trippier to be booked. Seems to be the case now. A lot of players just asking for players to be booked as soon as the foul's committed. I didn't really touch him there, to be honest. Clever bit of play by Eze. He felt a hand on him and he went down. Certainly not a yellow card, though, looking up on that replay. But I don't like it when players go to the referee asking for other players to be booked. I think that it's happening far too much now. There's a lot going on the touchline. Vieira screaming at his players. Eddie and Mad Dog screaming at the players. Palace have the ball now. But again, it's played back to right to midfield. Palace don't seem to be able to get anywhere forward. They're going backwards an awful lot. And good pressing that by Callum Wilson, forcing the Palace defender to turn. And they have to start again. They're still in their own half. Now it's launched forward out to the right-hand side. That's a good ball, actually. Ward now for Palace. And who is there but that mountain that is Joelinton. I don't actually know where Dan Burn was there, to be fair. There was nobody in the left-back position. Ward is actually now the captain of Crystal Palace. I didn't realise that. But he's got to throw in deep inside the Newcastle half here. And can Palace conjure anything up? Still goalless at Selhurst Park at the moment. Ward puts a low cross in, and we get it away. Botman just plays it out to, well, it's round about midway. Sorry, it was Longstaff. And we clear the ball, and we go again. What happened about only the captains can go to the ref? Well, I don't know, Robert. I really don't know. It just seems that every single time there's a foul now on the pitch, you know, the players are all around the referee looking for bookings and things like that. And it's really, it's terrible, really, now it's come to that. Newcastle, not so much. I think Kieran Trippier does a good job when that happens. When he sees our players getting frustrated, he'll tell them to back off, and then he'll go and have a chat with the referee, which I think is the way things should be done. Ward launches one for Crystal Palace. Dan Burn now has it. Burn clips it forward over the top, looking for Callum Wilson. He can't win the ball, but Willock's going to win that ahead of Ward. Plays it forward to Callum Wilson now. Wilson's control is terrible, and it loses the ball, and it's played forward. And that's a neat little flick on, but Botman is back there to play it all the way back to Nick Pope. Just concerned about Callum Wilson there. You know, a little dink over from Joe Willock, and then his control was rotten. He's got to be better than that. Botman for Newcastle now. Nice interchange and play with Bruno. Bruno brings it forward. He sees Miggy out on the right-hand side in space. Miggy now cuts in. Lovely little ball to Longstaff. Longstaff tips a first-time ball over for Miggy. It's really well done. Now, is that a corner? He has given a corner. I thought that initially came off Miggy's leg, actually. We're going to see a replay here. I'm not so sure if it... Oh, yes, it is a corner. That's good. That is good officiating, that. Oh, no, it didn't. It came off Miggy's knee. I do apologize. Well, I'm not bothered because we've got a corner out of it, obviously, so I couldn't care less. Anyway, we've taken it quickly again. Trippier's ball in. Wilson! Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. I think Wilson's header was going wide. Bruno tried to sort of clip it back. Anyway, we build again. We're on the halfway line, and it's with Fabian Schär now. Certainly not in his normal position, bursting down the left-hand side here. Joelinton's made a brilliant run. Oh, and the shot is crap. Unlucky. It was a great chance that for Joelinton, and he should have done better. Brilliant work by Fabian Schär. Just waited for the run of Joelinton. Joelinton's on his right foot. Just drill it in either corner, and he puts it straight at the keeper. Big opportunity for Big Joe, that. And that was back to the olden days of fluffing it up when he gets into the area, but never mind. That was a shame, that, because that would have been a lovely goal. Fantastic work from Fabian Schär, who we know is good going forward. But Newcastle United, without doubt, creating the better opportunities, without getting, meaningful shots on goal. Bruno turns, fighting for the ball. Certainly nothing wrong with his ankle there. But Palace come forward now, but great covering again by Fabian Schär. And that will frustrate Crystal Palace. But for me, we could have been a couple of goals up here. And that's the only downside of this first half. We're playing very, very well. No doubt about it. Fabian Schär has the ball on the right-hand side of the back two. And again, just dragging players towards him before firing it to Botman. Botman onto Dan Burn. Burn now. Joelinton comes to get it. Plays it inside to Willock. Willock onto Wilson. Wilson turns. Lays it into Bruno. Bruno hits a first-time ball towards Joe Willock, but it's just slightly overhit. Back with the Palace keeper again. But I tell you what, we're doing some nice passing here. Look at that hair. I mean, really, what is Zaha doing? Unbelievable. Anyway, again, Miggy coming back to help out defensively. Oh, Fabian Schär tried to take that on his chest and got lucky, got the rebound and does very, very well, actually. Just calm play to head it back to Botman. Botman onto Dan Burn now, who will bring the ball forward for Newcastle. Burn plays a lovely ball down the left to Joe Willock, but he's not going to get that, and it's going to be a throw-in deep inside the Palace half. But we're playing some lovely, lovely stuff. We are really playing some good stuff here, and it's nice to watch as well. Bruno, Joe Linton has the ball now. He's going all the way back to Botman. Newcastle won't be in any sort of hurry. They'll play it around until they find the right opportunity to go for the jugular. Fabian Schär brings it forward again for Newcastle United. Defenders backing off him. Schär just says, right, I'll keep going. Almiron now, that's going to go for another corner to Newcastle United again. Good pressure from Newcastle. And Miggy again causing all sorts of problems on that right-hand side. Taken quickly, in comes the cross. Burners underneath it. It's headed away as far as Joe Willock. Willock now, we're on about 40 yards out. Swings a right foot pass across to the right-hand side to Trippier. Lovely touch to Miggy. Miggy now tries to find Longstaff. Does eventually. Trippier takes it down beautifully. Hit back to Sven Botman now. Botman plays it back to Trippier. Trippier inside to Bruno. Bruno to Miggy. Miggy down the line to Sean Longstaff, but good covering. Some brilliant play from Newcastle. There's some lovely one-touch football. And certainly if there's one side deserves to be in front at the moment, it's the Geordies without a shadow of a doubt. As Bruno comes deep to receive the ball from Dan Burn. Takes his time, rolls it across to Fabian Schär. Schär again, who's been very, very, very much active in this first half, going forward more than anything else. Willock now into Bruno. Bruno to Joe Linton. Lovely little one-touch stuff this from Newcastle. Here's Longstaff. Longstaff out to Trippier. Trippier down the line to Miggy. Miggy cuts inside. Miggy, good little run that by Miggy. Played into Wilson, but he can't take it. Wilson screaming handball. No other player did, so I'm not sure how much of a handball that was because it was very, very quiet from the rest of the Newcastle guys. This is good stuff, guys. Without a shadow of a doubt, we're in this game. We're performing really well and actually deserve to be a goal up, I think. But unfortunately, we're not. It is still 0-0. As Dan Burn now has it, he'll probably knock this back as he does to Nick Pope. 59% possession in this first half so far for Newcastle. 4 attempts on goal, none from Palace so far. Bruno, that's a heavy touch, and he's lost the ball, but it'll come all the way to Dan Burn. But the referee's blown his whistle, and I think he's given a foul against Bruno. And again, the Palace... I mean, this guy, bloke, he's hanging around the referee, consistently asking for yellow cards just because his nappy's wet because he got booked in the first 5 minutes for a shocking tackle. I've seen the replay again. I mean, there's nothing in that. It's a 50-50 ball. And if Bruno was a bit late getting there, then it was certainly not a malicious yellow card. For me, I don't know what the hell. I mean, Bruno's certainly not afraid to go in there for a 50-50 tackle. That's a certainty. So if anything positive came out of that, he's had his... I mean, it's Jeffrey Schlupp, and I don't know what he was rolling around on the floor for. Really annoying. But Palace have a free kick anyway. And it's taken, and they found Zaha out on the left-hand side. Zaha's got Trippier and Longstaff to deal with. It's a good ball, actually, and into the penalty area, but that's a good tackle. Longstaff was initially fouled, but he got up and played on. Wilson, that's a heavy touch again from Callum, and he ends up getting tackled. Guay came in there and got the ball, but again, a massive heavy touch. Danielle says Palace players are just massive babies. Indeed they are. Indeed they are. Bruno needs to do up his laces as Funky Pigeon. Yep, I think he's done them up. Nick Pope now plays it out to Fabian Schär, deep inside Newcastle's half. Floats a lovely ball to Bruno. I'm not sure what the hell Bruno was trying to do there, but that was dangerous. He lost the ball, but the Palace player over touched it, and it went. And Joe Willock now on a maraud and run down the left-hand side. Plays it to Joe Linton. Joe Linton cuts back in on his right. He's got Willock left of him. He is Joe Willock now, just on the edge of the penalty area, looking to take on Ward. Cuts inside, and that will be a goal kick. Willock annoyed with himself that he couldn't get the cross in. But some of the passing guys from Newcastle is absolutely fantastic. It really is. It's brilliant to watch. And you can clearly see what they've been working on in training, because it literally is one-touch football all the time. It's very rare that the midfielders are having more than one touch of the ball before pinging it off. His hair looks something out of Mad Max. It does. It's ridiculous. It's a great feeling that we are being run by truly professional people from top to bottom. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Long kick down the field from Palace. Cher and Botman are once again there, and they just Botman is the one that just knocks it back to his holy one, and he plays it to Botman. Botman again, just like a Rolls Royce pulling away out the garage, and he won't be hurried by anyone. Ball is back with Nick Pope, plays it out to the right hand side where Kieran Trippier waits for the ball. Trippier then brings it forward. Long ball from Kieran Trippier, looking for Callum Wilson. Guy does well. Wilson wins it back and wins a throw in for Newcastle. He's there to get at, is that guy, because he's twisting on all the time, literally crying every time a decision goes against him. And for me, he's there to get at. Keep getting at him constantly. Anyway, Trippier with a free with the throw in, almost level with the penalty area. Bruno flips it over the top towards Miggy. Cleared away again. Another throw into Newcastle. I mean, look, for me, Palace's backline are there to get at here. They really are. They really, really are. And Newcastle, they've just got to keep going here. And the game is theirs if they keep playing as well as they are at the moment. Bruno rolls it back to Sven Botman. He goes wide to Dan Burn. Burn now just pulls it back and goes to Sven Botman again. He plays it out to Fabian Cher. Cher has Longstaff in support, who in turn has Trippier in support, but he loses the ball. It comes to Zaha. Zaha, not much in support, but there is now. And Palace try and build again, but they're being forced back by Newcastle. They were in a really good position there, and they were forced back. But again, Miggy and his defensive work, absolutely brilliant. All the way back again to the Palace goalkeeper. This is what we want, guys. This is what we continually need to see, is as soon as Palace get the ball, they're trying to break forward. They're unable to because of the way our system is and the way our players are quickly upon them. Great strength by Joe Linton again on the left-hand side there. Callum Wilson now. Oh, he's blocked off there. That's a free kick. And again, it's Guai, and he's got to watch it him because he's already on a yellow card. He has got to be so careful. And again, he's at the referee. I mean, look, what... I don't understand what he's complaining about with the referee. Callum flicks it over the top of him, and he blocks him with his shoulder. He takes him out the game. You see his left arm come across. And do you know what? He's very lucky not to get a booking for that. Because if he was booked, of course, that would have been a red card. And I have to say, a shocking challenge. But more to the point, this is a very, very good position for Kieran Trippier. But awful tackle. Putting his arm across like that should have been a booking for me. But he's lucky to get away with it. Yes, I did, Paul Gallant. Thank you very much. I did see it. Ian A says that should have been a yellow. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, half an hour gone. Still goalless, but Newcastle have a free kick in a very, very good position here. As usual, well, Fabian Cher was over the ball. He's moved now. So this looks like it's going to be an attempt on goal by Kieran Trippier. It's certainly... No, he plays it short and he goes to Bruno. Bruno then plays in a cross, headed away. Willock tries to hit it on the volley, but it was at a horrible angle and it goes out of play. Good idea, that. Bruno, I think, Bruno comes round the back there and plays the cross in a little bit more pace on it and a little bit more height. And there was two guys at the back post. One of them was Sven Botman. And that would have been an opportunity to score. But again, good stuff. Good stuff from Newcastle. And there's a Palace player down at the minute. It's Eze. And he looks like he needs treatment. Not sure whether he's actually saying he's got to come off or not, but he needs treatment here. So still 0-0 at Selhurst Park, guys. If you are enjoying the stream, please don't forget to hit the like button. Very, very important that people that watch, if they do enjoy it, hit that like button. It helps the channel enormously. If you're new to the channel and like what you see, please do hit the subscribe button, which is free to do so. Fantastic community on this channel. As you can see in the chat, we've got some wonderful people. Come and be part of it. Free to do so. And, of course, hit the notification bell that'll let you know when we go live, upload, or we schedule a live show. Loads of shows on here. And we also have loads of other fans from other clubs as subscribers as well, not just Newcastle. If you like your football banter, then this is the channel to hit. And you can donate to the channel as well, as so many wonderful people have done already today by hitting that $ at the bottom of the live comments. You can become a member of the Toon Review if you do wish. There's a join button just underneath, and that will enable you to become a member, and you'll be in the draw for lots of members' prizes and perks as well. Eze, I'm not sure what's going on with him. He's now walking to the side of the pitch, which he'd have to do anyway. He's having a chat with Jordan Ayew, so I'm not sure whether he's coming off or he's staying on or what. Isak, when he comes on, will get a goal. Yeah, this is kind of an Isak game, to be honest. I mean, look, I think Joe Linton should have scored, if I'm openly honest, when he cut inside. Played in by Fabian Schär. I think he could have done a little bit better and possibly just rolled the ball into the corner of the net. Miggy, of course, had that chance very early on, which I thought had gone in, but it just missed the goal. As we're now looking at Maydad, Amanda, Jamie Rubens there at the game. And I'm sure they'll be delighted what they think about this, because they're playing some really good football. The only thing we haven't got so far is a goal. And I think that might just be what Eddie will stress to the lads at half-time, is that a goal will come. Just keep doing what you're doing, because we've been the better team by a long way in this game so far. But sometimes football is a Wilson gives the ball away, but wins it back, then loses it again, and Palace break forward now. It's just something that doesn't look right about Callum Wilson at the minute, guys. I don't know what it is. Botman, that's a poor clearance. Comes out to Ward. Ward, that's a heavy touch. Wilson now bursts forward, put a touch, way too heavy touch for him, and he's lost the ball again. But well won back by Longstaff, and Miggy now breaks for Newcastle United. Longstaff taking out the play off the ball. I'm not sure whether the referee actually saw that, but Longstaff was taken down way off the play, and he's having a dig at the referee for that. And I think he's given a free kick. Yeah, he has. He's brought it back. Good referee in that. And it's not very often I say that about Craig Pawson, to be honest. But it was good referee. And he saw the tug on Longstaff went down. And there is the demon. I mean, it's a foul by Mitchell. It's a clear foul. I don't know what Zaha's twisting and crying on about. What a bell end he is, honestly. Can't stand his baby antics on the pitch. Every time we play Palace, he cries constantly. Anyway, we've took the free kick, and it's a long ball into the box, headed away again. Joe Willock's under this, gets his head on it. Good play. Wilson now, ball bouncing around, comes to Bruno. Miggy, just couldn't get a shot in there, and it goes for a corner. Good play that by Zaha, coming back and helping out his defence. Miggy was just about to pull the trigger, and there's that big gleaming smile of Miggy's, of course. Good work here by Willock, getting it forward again. Fabian Schär causing all sorts of problems in the box. It then comes to Bruno, just gives it to Miggy. He's just about to ping it on his left foot, and Zaha takes it off him, and it rolls out for a corner. But again, really, really good stuff from Newcastle United. Corner from Trippier. And it's bouncing around again. Joe Linton! Oh, he says it went in, but the machine didn't go off, and it's still goalless. That'd be interesting to see again. And there's another foul, and Newcastle infuriated here. Callum Wilson's down and looks to be, Willock is down and looks to be quite hurt. I'm trying to see who made the challenge again, but we're just going to see this Joe Linton shot. He was so quick to react. Hits it on the half volley. It's on the up. Oh, that's a penalty. That's what Joe Linton's appealing for. His arm's out. That's a penalty kick. That has to be a penalty kick. The shot's on target and it hits his arm. Pawson has got to go and look at this. That's a penalty. Am I wrong? That's a penalty kick. VAR have to look at that. That is a penalty kick and a clear penalty kick. He's given it. Play goes on. I don't know what the hell VAR. Did VAR even look at that? How is that not a penalty? Newcastle win another corner. Oh, he's not giving a corner either. What's going on here? He's given a goal kick. I don't know what's going on here, guys, but something's not right. Botman never touched the bloody ball. How is that not a corner? Disgraceful couple of decisions in a couple of minutes here. Bullshit. Honest to God, absolute ridiculous. And there's another foul. There's a Newcastle player down again. Palace are fucking us around here, and I do not like this. I do not like this. I think it's Botman that's down. I don't know what happened there off the ball. We're seeing it again here. It's Ayew and Botman. I still don't see what happened there. I don't think Ayew did anything on purpose. Yeah, he stood on his toe. It wasn't Ayew's fault. That was just, he wasn't even looking where his feet were, to be honest. Still a painful one for Botman, but he's up. But I'll tell you something. This is shocking, by the way. If you telling me that was Marcus Rashford hitting that shot, that Man United wouldn't have got a penalty there? Absolutely. You know damn well they would. Shocking decision. And then the fact we didn't get a corner, which was even more clearer. And just after I'd praised Craig Pawson as well, there you go, eh? Just serves me right for Trippier. That's a bad touch. Ayew down the left looking for the run of Zaha, but Fabian Schär is there yet again. Lovely ball up to Longstaff. Bruno now pings it out to Burn. Burn onto Willock. This is good stuff from Newcastle. Good ball by Willock down the left for Joe Linton, who again has had a big part to play in this first half. Big Joe cuts in onto his right. Good tackle by Ward. Comes out to Willock though. Willock all the way to the other side of the box where Miggy awaits. Brings it down nicely. Miggy's shot is a poor one, and it's wide of the post. But again, good football by Newcastle, controlling the game. We really are. And just unfortunate that we haven't scored yet. I don't really care where his hand was or anything like that. That shot was on target and it hits his hand. I don't know. I'm disappointed it wasn't. I don't think it even went to VAR, to be honest. But never mind. It's still 0-0. Really pissed off, to be honest. There's a couple of opportunities there for Newcastle, but we still haven't scored. Blood pressure, Paul. I'm all right. I just show them up. I wear the heart on the sleeve. People know that during commentary. And I will not change, no matter what my blood pressure says. It's passion, and I will not lose that passion. As Wilson tries to get the ball on the right-hand side now. He's been very ineffective, Callum Wilson, the first half. He's probably been our poorest player, if I'm openly honest. Everybody else has done really well. Callum, the times that he's had the ball, he's lost it and just doesn't seem to be able to hold on to it. So I don't know what's going on with Callum at the minute. Of course, he'd be feeling the pressure now that Isak's fit as well, of course. So, he's on the bench. 5 minutes to half-time here at Selhurst Park. Still Palace 0, Newcastle United 0. Well, I think we've dominated the first half, quite honestly, but we've been unfortunate not to score. We've defended really well. Palace haven't had a look in yet. They haven't had a shot. We've just defended so well, and we're just swooping all over them when we need to. And we're forcing Palace back all the time. I mean, Palace are knocking the ball around now in midfield. Sean Longstaff, good closing down again from Sean. Gets a big round of applause from the sidelines with Mad Dog Tyndall giving them a big, big, big round of applause. I'm not sure whether Botman plays it out. It's a throw into Palace. I'm not sure. Botman and Joe Linton having a bit of a conversation there. Let's not fall out, boys. Let's just maintain our composure. But there you go. Palace throw, way an hour half, ends up back at the Palace goalkeeper. But we're doing all right, guys. We're doing well. I'm pretty happy with this first half. As long as we just keep our concentration, don't lose it up until half time. Nick Pope launches one, good defender by Sven Botman there. Callum Wilson is underneath that. He goes down. Nothing given by the referee. Played forward again by Palace. Fabian Schär is there again. He's had a wonderful first half, by the way. Easily a fantastic first half. Ball played round. Look how far Nick Pope starts off his lineman. Edouard's got no chance. The ball comes to him. He looks up. He's got Nick Pope straight in his face. Dan Burn brings it forward now for Newcastle United down the left-hand side. Joe Linton and Willock in support. Rolls it back to Joe Willock. Willock turns again. Nice bit of play from Joe Willock. Bruno, little ball across to Joe Linton now. He's got Willock with him. Joe Linton finds Willock. Willock cuts inside. Lovely play. And then a long ball across looking for Miggy. It's not a great ball, to be honest, and comfortably headed away. Bruno now for Newcastle. To Longstaff. Longstaff back to Fabian Schär. Schär again won't be rushed. Newcastle they'll be happy going in 0-0, just as long as we don't concede a stupid goal. I think we can go and bury these in the second half, to be honest. Sven Botman brings it forward again to Longstaff. Longstaff out to Kieran Trippier now. Trippier sees a run of Callum Wilson. Wilson can't win the ball, though. It's bouncing around. Good work by Longstaff again. Just couldn't get to the ball. Trippier now chasing it. Good bit of work from Trippier. Throw into Palace on the halfway line. Zaha thinks he's some Egyptian god with that haircut. Absolutely. Well, except he's not an Egyptian god. He's an Egyptian baby who wears a bloody nappy. It's ridiculous. But anyway, Mitchell just gets a few extra yards before he launches the ball down the line. Zaha can't get the better of Fabian Schär. Ball bouncing around now. Schär and eventually under it, launches it forward towards Callum Wilson. Wilson just can't get a hold of the ball, but Miggy now nods it to Wilson. Now Callum Wilson bursting onto the ball here on the right-hand side of the area. He's held up. He turns. He lays it off to Miggy. Not the best ball. And Miggy taken out there. And again, really poor challenge. I think it's Eze with the challenge. He's not very happy with the referee, but come on. You've got nothing to twist about, you idiot. And of course, in there goes Mr. Zaha. This is why I don't want Zaha. You know, I mean, he's just a... How can they just complain about that? He chops Miggy in half. And you have to ask the question why that's not a booking, to be fair. But then again, what do you expect with these referees? Absolute numpties, the lot of them. Numpties. Anyway, Kieran Trippier's free kick. This would be a brilliant time for Newcastle United to score. Trippier's free kick. In it comes. It's bouncing around and somehow ends up with the keeper. I think that just hit Fabian Schär and ended up with the goalkeeper. He launches it towards Ayew. But again, good covering this time by Joe Willock. Lovely little dink over Ayew and creates a bit of space. Willock doing some step-overs. He's been learning that from Maxi. Into Bruno now. Bruno having his shirt pulled, but he manages to get the ball back to Fabian Schär. Schär clips it forward, looking for the runner Willock. Headed away well by Palace. He's got to be offside there. He's got to be offside, Zaha. He's a million miles offside. And, of course, Zaha will claim a penalty. Look at him. Look at him. Give out, man. Was he offside? No, he wasn't, actually. He was miles on. It was a bloody good run, that. But Trippier did well. No way in hell is that a penalty. It's just good defending, that. And Trippier, in fact, did well. 2 blocks, a good tackle. Zaha's gone down far too. See, he's looking for a penalty there, and that's why I don't like Zaha. Simple as that. He's an absolute doylem. I can't stand him. He's a cheat. Now Newcastle have a corner to defend. We've got 2 minutes of injury time at the end of the first half here, guys. 2 minutes. Oh, and a free header at the back post. And he should have done better. He will be disappointed that he didn't put that on target. Eze plays the corner in, and we just switched off for just a second there. Just a little bit high for him, really. It was a good attempt. But for us, thankfully, over the bar, no harm done. He's disappointed. He should have done better, but it looks like it's going to be 0-0 at half-time, unfortunately. Look, for me, regarding changes at half-time, the only one I would say is, we need Isak on the pitch. Wilson's, for some reason, ineffective, and I don't know why. He just hasn't looked the same since the World Cup, and it's baffling me as to why. Anyway, he's on the ball now, but he's lost it again. It's coming to Wilson, and he's just not holding it up. He's losing the ball. I'm not sure what the situation is with Callum Wilson, but never mind. I'm sure Eddie will sort that out. Half-time whistle will go any second now. I'm very, very pleased with his first half performance, I have to say. We'll see what Billy has to say at half-time as well, as Dan Burn brings it forward. But the half-time whistle is gone, and it is 0-0 at Selhurst Park at half-time. But I think Newcastle can be really, really pleased with the performance in the first half. I think they've done really, really well. The only thing that hasn't gone right is putting the ball in the net, which has been quite unfortunate. But again, these things happen, and I'm sure as time goes on, we will get better in front of goal. But something not quite right with Callum Wilson. Billy joins me now. Good afternoon, sir.
Evening.
What's your thoughts?
We've done everything but score, haven't we? We've been superb the first half. One of the best 45 minutes I think I've seen from us all season, football-wise.
Yeah.
Just the final ball just isn't quite good enough. Just not getting shots in the right areas in the goal. Should be ahead, really. But I think it will come. I think they're going to get tired as the game goes on with their game Wednesday. I'm looking forward to the second half. I've got to be honest, the only thing that can beat us is ourselves. Yeah,
I mean, look, the Palace defence for me, Billy, is there for the taking. They don't look good defensively. That guy, he's really on a thin shoestring now for a sending off. I mean, if you look at the one on I think it was it on Wilson when he knocked the ball over him, he put his arm out and literally clotheslined it. That, for me, I'm not sure, but I would have given a yellow card there. I think he's lucky.
It's a yellow card. It's a yellow card. Had he not been booked before, he would have got yellow carded for it. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Yeah, and of course, Zaha twisting on again. He spends most of the match against Newcastle. All he does is seem to cry on constantly, and it's really annoying. But the penalty incident, Billy, what do you reckon?
No, it wasn't the penalty. His arms tucked well in. Would have been really disappointed had that been given against us. I don't see that as a penalty perfectly.
But if that was
afterwards,
but if that was Marcus Rashford, Billy, for Manchester United, I think that would have been. I think that would have been a penalty.
But it probably would have been. Yeah, but they are different rules to the rest of the league, don't they? So.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we need to talk about Callum Wilson, Billy, because something's not right here. There's been many occasions where the ball's gone up to him, and he's just. Normally we rely on Callum to run the channels, to hold the ball up, which he's done so well for us. But since the World Cup, it just hasn't happened for him. And today, he just looks knackered. Now, obviously, Eddie has stressed that he's had this awful illness and things like that, and it's took him a long time to recover from. But I don't think he looks 100%. And if he's not, then get a player that is. We've got Isak sitting there, who I think could absolutely have a field day against these Palace defenders, to be honest. But what do you reckon?
Yeah, he looks a yard slow, doesn't he? He doesn't look good enough. His touch isn't great either. He's still putting the effort in, but he's just not quite at the races. I'll be inclined to give him 5-10 minutes second half, see if nothing changes, and get Isak on. But I think Isak will start Tuesday. I don't think Wilson's quite at the race at the minute. I think you're right.
I really don't understand what he's saying here. Trusting Willock to pick the wrong thing to do. Put your house on him to balls it up. I think Willock's been excellent first half.
Viva Vendetta has a vendetta against Willock. He does it every week.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. Willock's been a really bright spark certainly down the left-hand side, Billy. And, Palace were started well, which we'd expect them to with Selhurst Park. And we did say that on the preview, that they would probably first 5-10 minutes come out at us. But after that, we've controlled the game.
100%. Yeah, we've not given the ball away much today. We've looked really dangerous, especially down the flanks. Willock's got Ward on toast. Mitchell's on toast from Alma on the other side with Trippier backing him up. Bruno and Joe Linton especially have been outstanding. yeah, there's a goal coming. There's a goal coming. Absolutely.
Yeah. Vendetta says he's the weakest link in the team. I'm not having it, mate. I think you need to watch the game properly. Ridiculous thing to say, to be honest.
It's a weekly episode, Vendetta. You're boring, mate.
Yeah. I mean, Miggy, I thought that was in Billy at the back post. I mean, the way, obviously, I don't have the commentators on, so I can't hear the commentators go on. It's just wide. From where I was watching it, when it was rolling across the back of the net, I thought it was in. I really did. And then, obviously, I thought, why is he not celebrating? Should he have scored?
Yes, he should have. He should certainly have scored. I jumped in the air too. Well, you see the net ripple when you that far out from goal. Hit it perfectly well, just slightly wide, wasn't it? But yeah, you wasn't the only one that jumped up in the air. I was with you, and I just thought I'd make a little comment about Castore afterwards.
And then the Joe Linton one, obviously, as well. I mean, brilliant move. Again, Fabian Schär, who I think's been magnificent in that first half. Bloody awesome. Both forward and back. He just looks like those two look unbeatable at the back at times. But a lovely little ball into Joe Linton, and you just think, just curl it into the far corner. It's there for your son. And it was like the Joe Linton of old, just straight at the goalkeeper.
Yeah, what Schär was doing there on the left-hand side, like an inside left, I don't know. But he did really well, drew the player, fed Joe Linton in. Like you say, he should have curved into the far corner. He just swung a foot at it and straight to the keeper. Should have scored.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, can you take over for 5 minutes, Billy? Just while I have a toilet break, my friend.
Absolutely, no problem at all.
Thank you very much.
Let's do some comments. Let's go from Matt's here. Matt says, I also think Miggy's a bit off. I'm not sure. He looks pretty sharp. His touch in front of goal may be a little bit off. He's not scored for a few weeks now. But I think once he gets in, he'll score. He'll get back on the run again. And Roger kind of echoes that. I'd like to see Miggy gets his 10th today. Brilliant news on subscribers, folks. We're over 16.5k. Keep subscribing. If you're new to the channel, keep doing it, obviously. But if you're new, please subscribe. Don't cost anything. And we're a great channel. We like to do the stuff for you to entertain you. Ian says, we don't seem to be on our game with corners. Haven't been all season, really, have we? 2 or 3 goals all season from corners, is it? Something ridiculous. Yeah, we're a bit predictable, aren't we? We try and do different things with the same player. I think we need someone else occasionally to take a corner, not just Kieran Trippier, whose delivery generally is great. But having said that, sometimes it isn't. Although Trippier has been really good today, I've got to say. Chloe's here, and welcome to the channel, Chloe. And disappointed to see your earlier comment about not being made welcome on another channel. You're well welcome here with the rest of the Toon Review community. And she says, even the look on Wilson's face, he really looks like he doesn't want to be there. Or is it just me? And if you ask, slating Willock, give your head a wobble, driving a box the most. Yeah, you're right about Willock. I think you're wrong about Wilson. I think he's frustrated in himself, if I'm honest. He knows he's not quite at the races. And, of course, he's under pressure because he's got a world-class striker on his tail. So I don't think it's the case for not wanting to be there. He's a very competitive man, Callum Wilson. But I think he's a bit annoyed with himself, not quite being at the races. But great comment all the same. Ricard says, pretty tight that Willock can't control his body and ball. If able to coordinate his body better, it'd be fantastic. Trolls is in the house. At this point, Wilson is the weak link, but I hope he comes good soon. We needed the goal striker. We needed the striker anyway, don't we? Let's be honest. We just got rid of someone that played as a striker, not necessarily a striker, but played as one. So we were striker short. We've got Isaac to come on for him, and I think he's feeling a bit of pressure. I don't know. Ian's in the house. Hello, mate. Hope you're well. Mark Toon says Vendetta better wake the F up. Don't know what. Yeah, it's a weekly occurrence. Clark is saying, "Let's clone lad." Thanks, KK, for your comment. Very kind of you, sir. Mr. Matthews says, "I think Wilson will be gone in the summer. We need a reliable striker that can play most games, not a player who's either injured or only turns up 1 in 3 games." Yeah, he's kind of avoided the injuries issue, hasn't he? It's been more illness, hasn't it? Strange since he came back from the World Cup. Changing temperature, I don't know. Maybe he got that horrible flu bug. But yeah, he has been injury prone in the past, but not so much now, I've got to say. But he needs to get on his game pretty quick or he's going to lose his place. And that's not what a 31-year-old or 30-year-old striker needs to be hearing at this time in his career. He needs to be playing games. Paulie Max says, Palace should be down 10 men, 100% 2 yellows. Yeah, Gahey should have probably gone for the second one. The referee bottled that, if I'm put on his portion. Dan says, Big Joe's shot was so disappointing, just past it. He did indeed. Wilson looks not fully fit after illness he had. Longstaff and Willock have been very good. Like see Willock, a few more of them driving runs in the game. Yeah, he's got that right back on toes, hasn't he? He's deceptively quick, isn't he, Joe Willock? Yeah, he gets past players with a minimum of effort, it looks like. Yeah, he's had a good first half, despite what some people will say. Anthony says, Eddie's so stubborn, he won't bring on Isak and ASM at the moment. Almiron and Wilson have done nothing so far. Special praise goes to Joe. We look fantastic performance from him. I agree with that. Away says, I see a red card for Palace there, putting red challenges. Yeah, I think you might be right. Mark Salt says, in Eddie we trust, keep the face. Absolutely. Jules says, keep comments respectful all. Keith Truscott says, Willock is controlling that wing. They cannot deal with him. Haven't done a super chat, Paul. If you want to do the super chat, that's there.
Yeah, no worries. £10 super chat in from, $10 from Dave Lister. Thanks for the watch along, guys. Isak on would be a great choice. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. What do you expect in the second half then, Bill?
I think we'll much the same, to be honest. I think we'll keep the press. I think we'll keep pushing forward. And I think their legs are going to get weary as the game goes on. Expect to see a change or two within 15 minutes if nothing changes score-wise. But I do see us scoring, and I do see us going ahead and maybe getting even further ahead. So
how long would you give it before we make any changes?
At least 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. I wouldn't go any further than the hour mark, though, if it stays as it is.
Do you expect Palace to come out for the second half similar to the first? Do you think Vieira got stuck into them and said, look, you're sitting too far back. We're letting Newcastle dictate the play?
Well, they've had a 10-minute rest for starters. But as soon as that 10 minutes, they'll go for hell for leather, I imagine, the first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
If we can repel them, which I'm sure we can, then I think they'll shrink back into the shell and we'll come more into the game again and take control as we have done in the first 45.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be very interesting, Billy. I'll let you go. Get prepared for the second half, and I'll see you at full time for your thoughts. Hopefully, we'll be celebrating 3 points.
Absolutely. See you in a bit.
Cheers, mate. So there you go. That was Billy, of course, talking about the game, and we're ready to go very shortly again for the second half. 0-0 if you've just joined us at half time. But if you are enjoying today's stream, guys, please do hit that like button for us. It really, really does help our channel. And of course, if you're new and like what you see, please do what so many wonderful people have done already today and hit the subscribe button. Free to do so. Lots of football content on here and a fantastic, wonderful community that we have on the Toon Review. So please come and be a part of that. And of course, you can super chat if you do wish to make a donation to the channel. Just hit that $ at the bottom of the live comments, and it will be away we go. And I've completely lost my StreamYard there. 1 second. Move that back across there. Having to do this during live TV is very difficult at times. It really is. Where are we at here? Let's get my stream back up. There we go. Just adverts still on at the moment, but there we go. We'll be ready for the second half shortly. Chaz says they should take Zaha off and fine him for his haircut. I feel like Isak should be on now. Let's see him for a full half. Yeah, I mean, look, we do want to see him on for a full half. We want to see him playing. We want to see him on the pitch. Of course we do. It's very exciting. But look, let's give Callum a chance here. You know, we're I do think something's not quite right with Callum, and it needs to be addressed. And it's not, things aren't going his way at the minute. But hopefully, as the second half gets going, he'll get into it more, and we'll see a bit more on the attacking front from him. Because let's face it, we have to. You know, we're so used to Callum doing really well, holding the ball up, playing some great stuff, but it just hasn't happened for him again. And you know, it's gone on for a while now where this just hasn't happened for Callum at the minute, and it's just a little bit off-putting, a little bit disappointing. But look, we know what Callum can do. But anyway, we had 61% of possession in that first half, and we are, really going for it now. Palace in the attacking areas, 48% down the left-hand side. So most of their attacks are coming down their left-hand side. Of course it would when you've got Zaha there. But Newcastle, pretty much level across the left, the centre, and the right. So we're not going down a specific area. We're bringing everybody into the game. And, of course, that's what we like to see. So we're not targeting one area. But Palace, obviously, very interesting for me that they are just mainly targeting the left-hand side to give it to Zaha, because Ward was getting the ball a lot in the first 5 minutes. As I'm just looking at Isak now warming up. God, need him on the pitch, man. A lot of people very, very happy with that first half display, actually. And, the football that we played was superb. I mean, the one-touch passing, and it's clear. You can see what Eddie's doing in training. You can see him pinging the ball around. In training, they're obviously working on this one-touch football all the time. And it's a joy to watch. It really is. And as Billy said there in the summing up the first half, we should be a goal ahead because that football that we played there in the first half says to me that we deserve a goal. But, football can punish you sometimes. And, what I'm worried about is we get punished for not scoring goals. But those days seem to have gone as well because I have to say, Palace have never looked like scoring, to be honest. I mean, they had the header there right on half-time from when they had a corner. But apart from that, I haven't really seen anything that's gonna scare us. But football can be a strange game, and I just hope it doesn't backfire on us. I really don't. But I mean, people are talking about the final ball and the finishing, but that'll come, and I'm sure it will because we work very hard. But here we go, guys. Second half is about to get underway. Just waiting for the referee to blow the whistle, and we will be off. And we are underway. Second half underway, and how are the lads? Let's get one here. Let's get an early goal and kill this game off. That's what I'd certainly like to see. Anyway, there's a clash between two players. Newcastle immediately play on. There's a Palace player down. Wilson went down, but Wilson's back on his feet. It's now out to Miggy on the right-hand side. Plays it into Bruno. Bruno, lovely ball into Longstaff. Longstaff! Oh, it comes back to Callum Wilson. Wilson just held it up and a poor pass. That's terrible from Wilson. The Palace player's still down. Well, of course he's still down because he's a Palace player. But what an opportunity that was again. Callum Wilson just... Oh, damn it, man. That's not the usual Callum Wilson. The ball came to him there, and normally you'd expect Callum to, hit a shot. I mean, it's a 50-50 ball there, and I think Decore got one in the back of the ankle. Yeah, it just seemed to drag it on the turf. It wasn't a foul by Wilson. It was a 50-50 ball. Wilson went down grabbing his ankle, but got up. But then, Wilson's in a great position there. And normally you'd expect Callum to get that ball and fire it first time, but he didn't. And then he laid the ball off to Dan Burn. It was a terrible pass. Didn't give him a chance. Disappointing, I have to say it. But never mind. We move on. But it's these chances that we need to take. Longstaff's ball in wasn't particularly brilliant. He played it behind everybody else. And then, of course, it came to Callum Wilson, and he just slowed it down too much. I was expecting him to hit that, just touch. One touch, bang. That's what we normally get from Callum. But his sharpness just isn't there at the minute. But it is what it is. We might see a change, but I don't know how long he'll give Callum. But it's not happening at the minute for him. Anyway, the game is underway again, and the ball is with Fabian Schär. Plays it out to the left now with Dan Burn. Joe Linton now cuts inside, plays a long sweeping ball out to Miggy on the right-hand side. Good play by Miggy, brings it down. Little 1-2 with Kieran Trippier, but that's awful from Trippier. Sort of sliced the ball out of play there as Miggy was belting down the right-hand side looking for the return. And now Mitchell, who's been given a rugged time by Miggy in that first half, it has to be said. Everybody battling for the ball on the halfway line. Great work from Newcastle to win it back. Now, Wilson, again loses the ball. That's disappointing. I mean, I don't want to have a go at Callum Wilson because I love the guy, but he's not playing well. Now, Eze breaks for Crystal Palace, cuts inside, into the box. It's cleared away brilliantly by Fabian Schär. Palace now with a chance to play it down the left-hand side. Cut back, but there you go. They've had to come backwards again, which was the story in the first half. We were pressing them very high up the pitch and forcing them back, but it's out on the right-hand side now with Ward. Sweeps the left foot ball in, but Botman is there and clears it away for a Palace throw-in. Chloe says, Jesus Wilson, what is going on? Exactly. That's what I question. Well, that's not a foul. I mean, the ball is bouncing around on the touchline here. It's still in play. And I thought that was Dan Burns. Sven Botman clears it away. Hoofs it up with his left foot. Wilson is under this. But it's won by the Palace player. Wilson gets after it as it's played back all the way to the goalkeeper again. Out to the left-hand side where Mitchell waits for the ball for Palace now. Brings it forward. He's got Miggy all over him as you'd expect. Guy now for Crystal Palace, who for me is lucky to be on the pitch. Terrible ball by him. Intercepted brilliantly by Fabian Schär. Schär launches a ball towards the left-hand side. Not a great ball from him. And it's intercepted. There's a few loose passes going on in the early stages of the second half here. Now Ward for Crystal Palace. Has a bit of time on the ball, but he can only play it back, and it's going to have to go back again. Guy now for Crystal Palace. Again, Miggy swoops all over him, and he's trying to bring it out, but he looks up and sees white shirts, but he's done well there, actually. He set Palace on the way, and then the Palace breaking forward now. Opportunities here. Ward on the right-hand side, cuts it back. Bruno is there, and Joe Linton will just calmly sweep it up for Newcastle. Plays it out to the left-hand side where Wilson knocks it back to Dan Burn. Burn steps inside nicely. Plays a little ball into Bruno. Bruno, lovely ball to Longstaff. Longstaff's got Trippier on the overlap. Great one by Kieran Trippier. Plays it into Almiron now. Miggy looks for Trippier again on the right-hand side. Trippier's ball across. It's bouncing around. Wilson just can't get on the end of it. And the referee's blown his whistle for an offside. I'm not sure where the offside was, but he's saying Longstaff was offside. Longstaff disagrees with him, but it's a whistle. And unfortunately, let's look at Gareth Southgate at the game today. Probably looking at some of his players. Callum Wilson's done himself no favours. But I don't think it's. I just don't think he's fit. That's the problem. You've got that niggling feeling that something's not quite right with Callum fitness-wise. We all know he's got the ability. It's nothing to do with that. It's just, you know how he normally likes to boss the centre backs and really get stuck in and cause them and rough them up. He's not doing that at the minute. Anyway, Dan Burn. Little clip inside to Joe Linton. Joe Linton onto Bruno. Onto Dan Burn. Great football with Newcastle. Burn's first time ball in. Mitchell is back there and clears it for Palace, but only as far as Trippier. Newcastle on the attack again. Trippier looking for the cross. Has to go to Miggy, though. Miggy cuts it back into Joe Willock now. Willock for Newcastle. It's a terrible ball into the box, and it's cleared away again. It's that final ball. It's just not there at the minute. But again, Newcastle pressing hard to try and get this first goal. Dan Burn plays it out to Joe Linton on the left-hand side. Joe Linton into Bruno. Bruno clips it through for Joe Linton. That's brilliant football from Newcastle. Joe Linton's took a heavy touch, but he'll get there. Wilson! Oh, he's lost it again. Just can't hold it. Bruno! And he win a corner for Newcastle United. Good defended in the end by Palace, but again, just the sharpness isn't there. He sort of gets the ball and tries to turn, but he lost it. But Joe Linton's holding his hamstring, which is a little worrying. He looks all right, I think. He's just sort of straining a little. But what a good run that was by Big Joe. Anyway, in comes the cross again. Chance! Oh, Wilson heads straight at the keeper. That was an opportunity, guys. That was a big opportunity. Wilson's header, and unfortunately straight the goalkeeper again. And it remains 0-0. But some really, really good football from Newcastle. Excellent stuff. Eze for Palace now, trying to get them going in this game. Newcastle win it back again, though, swamping all over them. Joe Linton, not a great ball by him. It's well intercepted, and Palace now break. Joe Linton's just trying to get his breath back, I think. Played inside. Good defending again from Botman. But Palace have it back again. It's certainly a bit of an end-to-end showing in this early knockings of the second half here. Ward, but again, they have to play it right back. I mean, a lot of people in the chat saying, bring on Isak. I certainly would at the minute because, we need a change. And I feel sorry for Callum. I really do because I love the guy, but he's just not I mean, here's the corner again. It was played across, Trippier's ball in, and Wilson's unmarked, guys, on the 6-yard line and heads it straight at the goalkeeper. I mean, the shots that we've had on goal in this match have been very much straight at the goalkeeper. Joe Linton's one in the first half. Could have cut it into the corner, didn't quite do it. Zaha will easily look for a free kick here, but he doesn't get it. Newcastle win a throw-in. Deep in our own half at the moment, so we'll have to play our way out. Isak is our form striker. How's he not starting? Well, to be fair, Wilson, he has been our mainstay when he's been fit for a long time, and I think it'd be, dropping him might have been unfortunate. I thought Isak might have started on the left-hand side today, but that was because Bruno, I didn't think would play, but obviously that was very much different. That's a poor touch from Willock, but a good header by Dan Burn. Joe Linton now sees the run of Callum Wilson, but it's way over hit. And the goalkeeper will let that run out for a goal kick to Palace. So almost 10 minutes into the second half, guys. It's still Palace 0, Newcastle 0 at Selhurst Park. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you are enjoying the stream, please do hit that like button and also subscribe if you're new and come and join this fantastic community that we have on the Toon Review. Isak is warming up. And I think we do need to make a change now. I think, we've had opportunities even in the second half at the minute, and it just hasn't happened. Bruno taken out late again. He waves play on. That was a bad tackle by Ayew, and those two have had a bit of a battle in this game. Here's Joe Linton for Newcastle United. Bruno back on the ball again. Bruno plays the ball into Longstaff. Longstaff loses the ball. He didn't lose. He tried to dummy it and let it go to Miggy, but the Palace defender was quickly onto that. Long ball clipped over the top for Zaha, but there is Fabian Schär again just to clear the danger as usual. I mean, what is Zaha twisting about? It's a multi-ball system, so there's no reason why Palace just can't get another ball and play on. Get on with it. He is Schlub for Palace, but again, they have to play it back. And to be fair to Callum Wilson, he's doing an awful lot of pressing. He really is. It's certainly not an effort problem. He's running around. He's doing what he can, and it's just been unfortunate. Oh, there's a chance for Palace, is there? Oh, Trippier just gets it back to Nick Pope. Wow. Miggy battling with Mitchell again. As they've had a real ongoing tussle. And it's a poor header from Mitchell. Miggy gets the ball now. Sprays it left to Joe Linton. Joe Linton's got Burn and Willock on the overlap. Joe Linton goes for goal himself. And again, it's straight at the goalkeeper. It was a good idea by Joe Linton. I'm not going to have a go at him for having a shot there. He's perfectly within his rights. He cuts back onto his right foot, lets it go. But again, you can see what he's trying to do. Curl it into the corner. But unfortunately, again, it's straight at the goalkeeper. And that's really been our problem so far in this game. Everything's been straight at the keeper. As Zaha again throws himself to the floor. Trippier looks at the referee, says, "Are you joking?" Look at Zaha. Oh, he's got it. There you go. There's a yellow card for Trippier. I really despise Zaha, and I don't know why anyone would actually want him at our club. He is just such a bloody cheat and a twist and a baby. I mean, Trippier's wrangling with him. It's a foul. It's a free kick. Get on with the game. I don't think it was a booking, but there you go. Palace don't do anything with a free kick. Instead, they get themselves into trouble here and have to clip the ball forward. And Trippier is there and nods it out to play. Palace have a throw midway through the Newcastle half. I don't think Trippier got a shout there to say how much time he had. Here's Guy back to the goalkeeper now. Miggy shutting him down very quickly. Not giving the goalkeeper any chance to play the ball out, so he goes long. Joe Linton with a header. I think Willock needs to get into the game second half. He's been anonymous after a really good first half. He's been anonymous the second. Hasn't really got on the ball at all. Palace now just knocking it around in the middle, trying to get a breakthrough, but there's just nothing there for them at the moment. But here they come now with Eze. He's got an overlap from Zaha. And that, leave it, goal kick. And Zaha's pulled up. Nobody was near Zaha there. I think he's pulled a muscle. This could be bad for Palace. He's hitting the ground angrily. I'm not sure what's the matter with him. Nobody was near him, so I don't know what's the matter. He's holding he's pulled a hamstring by the looks of things. Yeah. Just get off the pitch, Wilf. There you go. Good lad. Yeah, it was a good move that. Edouard tried to play him in. And Zaha's looking for the ball, but he's pulled up and holding the back of his... That's a hamstring pull. I don't think we'll see Zaha anymore in this game. That's a painful one. He pulls up, gritting his teeth. He's gone. Unless he's acting, of course, which could be an amazing act, but he's thumping the ground really hard. He's annoyed, and that normally happens when you're pulling a hamstring, but he's getting treatment. We'll see if he comes back on. But we're back underway, and it's with Dan Burn now for Newcastle United, coming up to the hour mark. Still no goals. How, I don't know, because we've completely... the chances we've had, we should be a couple of goals up. Here's Callum Wilson now, out to the right-hand side to Trippier. He's got Miggy there in support. Miggy makes the dart and run now, coming in on his right foot. Ball played in, headed away. Comes as far as Bruno on the edge of the box. Bruno whips it in! It was a wonderful ball by Bruno, and nobody took a chance. It's a corner to Newcastle United, but great work by Miggy. He gets the ball in on his right. It's a poor header away. Bruno whips the ball back in, and nobody took a chance to get on the end of it. And we must have took that quickly because the ball is now in the centre of the pitch with Bruno here for Newcastle. He's got Miggy and Trippier in support. He's also got Fabian Schär, who is onside. Schär now for Newcastle. Pings it onto his left foot. He's going right across the box. Lays it up. It hits the referee. And Newcastle will get the ball back here with a drop ball. And Pawson has taken the... well, I can't believe this if Zaha's coming back on. I don't think Patrick Vieira is very happy with him at all. He's back on the pitch. Now, I'm sorry, but he went down as if he pulled a hamstring there. And that is bullshit. And I think Patrick Vieira is furious with him. Because it put Palace down to 10 men for a couple of minutes there. And... I don't think Vieira is very happy with his play acting. Anyway, it's with Trippier now. Plays the ball forward for Newcastle. Miggy has it. Miggy now cuts in on his left foot on the edge of the box. Almiron goes across to Dan Burn. Burn, lots of space here. Gives it to Joe Linton. He's got an overlap from Burn. Pulls it back to Willock. Willock's got Bruno in support. However, he turns, goes back to Joe Linton. Joe Linton gives it back to Willock. Newcastle playing it down the left-hand side here, looking to get that killer ball. Rolled all the way back now to Sven Botman. Botman goes across to Fabian Schär. Newcastle really putting the pressure on Palace here. Brilliant ball across to Trippier. Takes it down, whips it across, and it's played behind for a corner. Again, Newcastle dominant, but just can't get that ball over the line. Great run by Kieran Trippier. Takes it well, fires it across, and it's good defending. Playing it behind because that could have gone anywhere. But it's still 0-0, guys. We've got to take one of these chances. We do. I mean, Zaha's stretching is. I mean, if that's a hamstring, why are you taking a risk on him? Why would you keep him on the pitch? Trippier's corner, and it's headed behind. Botman got on the end of it and just wide of the post. So unlucky again. Brilliant header. Really good, strong, powerful header from Sven Botman. But he just can't direct it on target again. And another chance goes begging for Newcastle United. And Zaha's down again. I think Fabian Schär saying, look, you've done your hamstring. Why are you still on the pitch? Unbelievable. You've got to take him off. That's just... unbelievable piece of shithousery from Zaha here. Bring on Isak, let him get into the game, says Chaz. Palace goalie going to be man of the match. Well, he hasn't had really big saves to make. They've all been straight at him. But Palace look like they're going to make numerous changes here. There's 3 players I can see getting ready to come on. Obviously, Vieira's not happy. But no sign of a Newcastle United change yet, guys. It's still... as we were, which I'm very surprised about because I thought Wilson might have been on by now. But Palace are making 3 changes. One of them is obviously going to be Zaha. Will Hughes, I can see, is coming on as well. I mean, Zaha, just unbelievable haircut. That, I mean, I'd seriously change that as soon as he got out of bed in the morning, sunshine. And he says, Darlow to Hull is nearly a complete deal. Interesting. Thanks for that, Annie. Love how, but sick of these late subs when it's getting late. Yeah, I mean, it is getting later in the game again, and I don't know why he hasn't changed it just yet. It's clear Wilson needs to come off. There's something not right with Callum Wilson, fitness-wise. We're dominating the game, and I'm just worried that it backfires on us, that we're not taking these chances, guys. Anyway, Eze is one of the guys to come off. Zaha's one of them. I'm glad to see the back of Eze, to be honest. Elise is coming on. Mateta's coming on, and Will Hughes. Jeffrey Schlupp is the other one going off. So 3 changes for Crystal Palace. None for Newcastle as yet, but the subs are warming up. But I thought we would have made a change around the 60th minute. I must admit. But I'm sure we'll see one shortly. We need to get some subs on, and we need to be at it. Get this goal, because I think if we score, I think we're well in. If we score, we could get a couple. I genuinely think it's one of those games, but it's also one of them games that could come back and bite us in the ass. As Palace now coming forward with Elise, plays it to Ayew. He doesn't get there. Comes to Mitchell. Mitchell rolls it into Ayew. Ayew goes down, rolling around the floor. Kieran Trippier kicked it out of play, man. Get up. Trippier's looking at him saying, "You absolute bloody softy." I mean, Gordon Bennett. Anyway, Newcastle clear the ball towards Callum Wilson. Wilson, midway through his own half, takes the ball down. Again, he's lost it, though. Come on, Eddie. Come on. You have to change this now. Long ball forward again by Palace. Byrne gets ahead on it. Joe Linton now for Newcastle. Rolls it into Dan Byrne. Rolls it to Bruno. Bruno flips it over to Sean Longstaff. Longstaff plays it down the channel. Joe Willock's after it, and he's going to get there. Joe Willock. I thought he lost his balance, but he's still got it. Willock on the ball for Newcastle United. Dipsy doodling. And it goes for a corner. He can't get the bloody cross in. And it's Ward that clears it behind for a corner. That's so disappointing. The final ball is just not there. Willock does really well. It's a wonderful ball by Longstaff. And then he gets in a position to cross it. Good defending, yes, but he should have got the crossing well before that. But again, Willock's pace on the left-hand side is really causing Ward some problems. There's no doubt about that. We are going to see 2 changes. Isak and ASM are coming on. They'll be coming on shortly, guys. Corner to Newcastle. Trippier takes. Bouncing around again in the box, and it's cleared away by Ayew. Just unfortunate, those 50-50 ones don't fall to a Newcastle player. Botman rolls it back to Nick Pope. Nick Pope again plays it out to the left-hand side. Trippier's on the left-hand side. Beautiful move there. He's got Bruno in support. Bruno now for Newcastle United. Bruno cuts round, turns, lays it into Longstaff. Longstaff out to the other side where Dan Byrne is playing now. Obviously just because Trippier took the corner. Miggy cuts inside. He's got players in support. One of them is Botman here. Botman brings it forward. Rolls it into Kieran Trippier. Sorry, he's left it that for Joe Willock. Willock now on the left-hand side. Into Joe Linton. Joe Linton's going to have a run at the defender. He'd expect Willock to be overlapping, but Willock didn't really make a run there. Nice bit of play, though, back to Bruno. Bruno's ball into Joe Linton. This is better from Newcastle again. Joe Linton tries to fire the ball across. Willock doesn't let it go for a corner. He keeps it in. Willock's ball across. Oh, Longstaff was ready for a volley. Just couldn't get on the end of it. Here's Miggy again. He can't hold on to the ball, though, and Palace win it back, and Miggy brings down Ayew, and that's a free kick. And again, it's just so frustrating that we just can't get this final ball in. It really is. And Callum Wilson is coming off. He doesn't look very happy to be coming off, but it's the right decision. He's going to be replaced by Alexander Isak. He hasn't been at it, Wilson, today, as far as I'm concerned. He's still not right. Isak's going to get 20-odd minutes on the pitch to try and make a difference. And Willock is off for Maxi, which means Joe Linton will move back into the midfield. Wilson clearly not happy, but he hasn't. I don't know what Wilson expects. He hasn't been great today. But, you know, in a way, you know, seeing him come off, disappointed to come off, you know, sometimes that's a kick up the arse that they need sometimes. Eddie having a long chat with Willock. Everything seems okay there. He's getting a hug from both of them. He was a bit quiet second half, Joe Willock, but he made a good run down the left there just before. But Eddie will have probably said to him, look, we've got a big semi-final of the Cup game on Tuesday. We need you fit for that. Get yourself a rest, son. You know, certainly doesn't want to upset any players or anything like that, but, you know, just have a rest. But here's Ayew for Crystal Palace. Down the left-hand side now. In comes the ball from Edouard. Smashed away by Bruno. It's not a great clearance. It's just basically straight in the air. Cher's header wasn't great either. Ayew now for Palace. Edge of the box. Edouard. Newcastle swamp him and break. Lovely touch. And Miggy brought down there by Will Hughes. And a free kick given. No harm done. And Newcastle take a free kick to Longstaff. Longstaff up towards... Not the greatest ball for Isak to get on the end of there, and didn't even find him. Just need to re-establish ourselves here. Just get our foot back on the ball and start creating some more chances, because Palace are starting to come at us a bit here. And that's a goal kick, surely. Yes. It's not a corner. Ayew again crying. He's another one who twists on all the time. Let's see what the referee is signaling here. Another substitution for Palace. So this is their fourth. Richards is going off. Is it Richards? No, Richards just getting some instruction. It's actually Ward, the captain, who's going off at right back. He's done all right for Palace. He's been run ragged by Miggy today, but he's held out and made some very, very good tackles. We have shit defence in the league. We have scored 1 the last 4. That's terrible. And Isak is the only one stop crossing, beat the back line. Look, let's not be too harsh here. Christ almighty. I mean, look, Wilson's come back from an awful illness. Isak's come back from a terrible injury. ASM's come back from a bad injury. Let's just give them time to just get fit. Yes, Wilson was poor today, and I've said it. He was poor. But we all know what Wilson is capable of. So there's no need to... say that we're shite all of a sudden, because we're not. You know, there is going to be spells in the season where things just don't quite go your way. But it's how you recover from those. And you know, I've got no doubt we will. Great play by Fabian Schär there. He had Palace players all over him, and he just held them off. Bruno's lost the ball, though. Will Hughes now for Palace. He's got Bruno breathing down his neck. And it's going to go all the way back to the Palace keeper here. 11 attempts for Newcastle, 4 for Palace. No shots on target, though, for Crystal Palace. 4 for Newcastle. And you think 11 attempts with only 4 on target. There lies your problem, guys. There lies your problem. Anyway, there's still 20-odd minutes to go in this game. Well, 20 minutes plus injury time, I guess. Plenty time to get a goal. Can we find a way to win this? Fabian Schär rolls it into Bruno. Bruno out to Trippier now on the right-hand side. Trippier cuts back. Lays it back to Fabian Schär. Fabian Schär rolls it into Sven Botman. He goes off to the left again to Dan Burn. Burn cuts back inside. We're just fannying around here, but nice play by Botman. Rolls it up to Joe Linton now. Sorry, that's Maxi. Both got the same red boots on. Oh, that's a bit of a nasty touch by Joe Linton. It's put us in a little bit of a trouble here. And Palace, it's bouncing around. Shot in! What a save, Nick Pope! Absolutely superb save by His Holiness. Mateta hit the shot, and a beautiful right-hand dive and save by Nick Pope. And there is why he is England's number 1. He's had nothing to do all game. Mateta hits a bullet shot, and Nick Pope's reactions. But there is the warning to Newcastle, guys. What a save that is, by the way. What a save. He's had nothing to do in this game, and then he makes a blinding save like that. And yes, Mr. Southgate, are you watching, Sunshine? Brilliant stuff. But there is a warning, guys. It is a warning to us that we need to be better than this. Loss of concentration for a couple of seconds, and it can punish you. Palace will be buoyed on by that. That's a certainty. It's with Mitchell at the minute. Midway through the half, he knocks it wide again to Elise. Elise cuts inside. Then he clips it in towards the back post. Botman is under it. Not the greatest of headers away. Isak tries to win it back. It's another shot comes in. It's a dive and block by Botman. And Nick Pope will keep it in. Brilliant. Botman just threw himself in front of the ball there. He didn't seem to care how fast that was going. But that's just a little warning to Newcastle here. You know, although we've controlled most of the game, Palace can be dangerous. Bruno, that's under hit past the Trippier, but he gets there. And then he's brought down by Will Hughes yet again. And that's hurt Trippier. Right on the shin. And yeah, 3 fouls already. Will Hughes is in the book. 3 fouls since he came on the pitch. And that's what Pawson is saying to him. Hopefully Trips is all right. We know he suffered that huge... It wasn't a great ball by Bruno. It was under hit. Trippier did well. And then dragged down by Will Hughes. It's a poor tackle, to be honest. He's nowhere near the ball. And rightly so, he's booked for that. Concentration just gone a little bit a bit quiet for Newcastle here. But Nick Pope, as we just seeing that save again. Mateta hit it on the turn. It was a bullet shot. And what a save that is, by the way. Absolutely top draw goalkeeping from Nick Pope. We just went to sleep, and you can be punished when you go to sleep like that. Apparently their fans are singing the refs are Saudi. Wow, unbelievable. All opposition fans are so... Oh, chance! Oh, Joe Linton just couldn't get there. It's played away, and... Is that offside? I believe so. Offside against Joe Linton. Well, he's given a free kick. I don't know what the hell he's done to Joe Linton there, but he's blew the whistle anyway, and Palace have a free kick. We had us as Botman is 2 seconds ahead of everyone else. He is. He is. Guys, we've got almost 1,500 people watching, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us for the watch along this afternoon. Please do hit that like button. It's really so important that you do that if you've enjoyed the stream. And of course, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, like so many great people have already today, please hit that subscribe button and come and be part of this fantastic community on the Toon Review. And also, you can donate to the channel if you wish by hitting that $sign at the bottom of the live comments. Palace coming forward here, played down the left-hand side. Great tackle again by Fabian Schär. Trippier keeps it in, but only rolls it up the line to Mitchell. And Palace now with Ayew. Ayew trying to get a cross in, and it's hit the Palace player and out for a goal kick. So Palace coming into this game more the last 5 minutes. We've just switched off a little bit. Now, whether that's fatigue or whatever, we need to get back going again. It just seems since the substitutions, everything's gone a bit weird. We haven't had any sort of attack since the substitutions were made. We really need to get Maxi and Isak into the game. Long ball played again forward by Newcastle United. Great bit of play there by Bruno, hoofing it forward. In fact, it's a wonderful ball. And it's come to Isak on the left-hand side. Isak wins a corner for Newcastle United. From nothing, that Bruno just basically went in for a tackle, clipped the ball round, and Isak, again, so positive. As soon as he got the ball, there, it was like straight in, and it's a corner, which Kieran Trippier is coming across to take. We've got to make one of these corners count. It's so annoying when we don't get, we get so many corners in a game and we're not making anything of them with the height we've got. Anyway, we go short. It comes to Maxi. Maxi dipsy doodling. In comes the cross. It's behind again for another corner. Get it in the bloody box, man. The height we've got in there, we should be threatening on every single corner. I don't know why we don't. That is the one part of this game, or our game. The height we've got in Schär, Botman, Isak, Dan Burn. Why aren't we doing better from corners? Anyway, in it comes again from Trippier. Dan Burn got a head on it, and it's cleared away again. And a corner from the other side this time. And now it's Palace hanging on. I don't think Dan Burn realised that ball was landing right on his noggin there. Anyway, Trippier's come round the other side to take the free kick from the other side now. Come on. We want a ball in the back of the onion bag here. Terrible corner. And cleared away again by Crystal Palace. Elise brings it away. He's had to check back because there's nobody up there, really. Maxi's the furthest one back for Newcastle and immediately gets the ball and brings it right into the half. Plays it down the line to Isak. Isak now turns, goes back to Joe Linton. Joe Linton wins the throw-in for Newcastle. 12 minutes of normal time left plus injury time. Still goalless at Selhurst Park. Joe Linton now plays it out to the right to Trippier. Trippier controls brilliantly. Makes a run down the right-hand side is Miggy. Miggy's got Longstaff in support. He's got an overlap from Trippier as well. That's lovely football. Kieran Trippier, can he pick a man out? Ball flowing. Isak! Straight in the goalkeeper again! Holy goddamn moly! Honestly. Choke me with a great white shark. It is straight at the keeper again. Honestly, shave my face with a goddamn rusty razor. I'm sick of these chances going straight at the keeper. From really good positions as well. We're just not finding the corners. You know, I mean, I've seen a comment there, like the goalkeeper's got magnets in his gloves. That's what it seems to be. Ball chipped over the ball. Miggy now cuts back in on his left, cuts back to the right. Will Hughes all over him. He does really well to get a Longstaff. Now to Bruno. Bruno looking for that killer touch. It's a terrible ball and Palace break away. But Newcastle do have men back. Well, Newcastle got about 5 or 6 back, but they messed it up and Bruno now brings it forward for Newcastle. Bruno into the Palace half. He's got ASM on the left-hand side now. Maxi, what can he do with it? He's got 3 Palace players all over him. Back to Byrne. Byrne will roll it back to Botman and start again. Come on. 10 minutes to go. 0-0 at Selhurst Park. Great ball. Trippier now. Miggy just strained offside a little bit. Ball flipped over the top by Trippier. Cleared away, but only as far as Miggy. Miggy hits it on his left foot. It's bloody awful. And do we get a corner? We do indeed. I thought that was a terrible shot by Miggy. It was deflected. But there you go. I mean, I don't know what he's doing shooting there, to be honest. He's got no chance. But it did hit the back of Guy, and it goes out for a corner. Again, another corner to Newcastle. Can we finally... 12 corners we've had in this game, guys. 12 corners, and still nothing to show for it. Anyway, Trippier whips it in again. Shah's at the back post and Mateta does really, really well. And it's out for another corner on the other side. We're banging on the door, guys. We really are banging on the doors, but we just can't force the ball in. Unbelievable stuff, this. It really is. The talent that we've got up there to try and score a corner. Anyway, and it comes again from Trippier. It's to the back post this time. Headed back by Fabian Schär, and it's into the goalkeeper's gloves again. Unbelievable, this. Eddie's not looking impressed. Look, I think if we come away with a draw from this game, I'd be very disappointed the way we've played, to be honest. We should be winning this. But again, the finishing hasn't been there. But there is still time. There is still time. And the ball is with Dan Byrne on the left-hand side now. Byrne cuts inside. Lays it into Joe Linton. Joe Linton in a bit of space now on the halfway line. Rolls it out to Trippier on the right-hand side. We're getting a lot of success on this right-hand side at the minute. And Mitchell's been given a horrid time. Now that's a good ball. Longstaff chips it to the back post. There's nobody there. Can Joe Linton keep it in play? He can. And he rolls it back to Big Dan Byrne into Bruno. Byrne makes a run, but he plays it across to Trippier. Trippier now inside the Longstaff. Longstaff turns. Longstaff goes down, claiming that he was fouled. Nothing given. Nobody else seemed to appeal. And the ball is with Trippier. Trippier's got Bruno inside of him. Fabian Schär's marooding forward now as well. Bruno. Miggy now on the right-hand side. Waits for the run of Trippier. Knows that Trippier's there, but has to cut back on his left and rolls it back to Botman now. Botman. What can Botman do? He rolls it into Dan Byrne. We're going backwards here, lads. And Byrne's got to go all the way back to Nick Pope. Disappointing, that. Really disappointing. Botman now. Turns and gives it back to Nick Pope. Good pressing that by Palace. Slowing us down. Trippier now. Fabian Schär. Schär having a little 1-2 with Bruno there. A lot of time out to Trippier on the right-hand side. Trippier brings it forward. It's a ball into Isak. Isak tried to lay that off for Bruno, but it was a good challenge. And Palace now coming forward. Great work by Miggy to try and get back. Ayew on the left now running at Kieran Trippier. He beats Trippier down the left. Good ball in. Oh, my goodness me. The Palace player's gone down in the box. I mean, get the hell up, will you pansy. Long ball played forward now for Isak. Can Isak get on the end of this? Yes, he can. Isak, great bit of skill to get round Guy. Isak on the left. There's nobody up with him, though. He's looking for help. Isak, brilliant turn by the Swede, and he wins the corner. Fabulous stuff from Isak. And he has made it. When he gets the ball, the panic. It's Mateta that's down at the other end for Palace, holding his ankle because he's an absolute soft bell end. But never mind. We have another corner. Mateta slowly making his way to his feet. He's got to get back because his team's facing the corner. I mean, it was a lovely ball in by Ayew, to be honest. And very, very good defending. It has to be said by Dan Burn. Just shrugged Mateta off. There was no foul in there. Just brilliant defending that from Dan Burn. And we have yet another corner. Can we make something of this? Trippier's going to take it again for Newcastle. Just over 5 minutes of normal time left plus injury time. Trippier's ball in, and it's headed over the bar. And again, Fabian Schär looks to the skies, really frustrated that he didn't do better with that. Just seeing a replay. Yeah, I mean, it was one of them where he had his back to goal. He was just trying to flick it into the net, but unfortunately it hit the wrong part of his head and balloons over the bar. Oh, God, Jacob Murphy's coming on. I mean, he's taking Miggy off again, and it's the same substitution every game with 5 minutes left, isn't it? You know what I mean? He takes Miggy off. I don't know why he's taking Miggy off. He's had a really good game again, Miggy. He's been all over Mitchell all game. There's only 5. Leave your better players on, for God's sake, man. Watch Murphy score, will he? I highly doubt it, though. But you never know. Anyway, goal kick to Crystal Palace with Great is going to take. He's not in really any rush. He knows at the moment that Newcastle United have been on top. And it's just one of those frustrations, again, that we haven't took our chances. And I hope this isn't going to become a problem with Newcastle at the minute. But certainly haven't taken chances when we've had them in this game. Ayew again on the left-hand side. Gets right to the byline. Trippier is there along with Murphy. Ayew. That's a Newcastle throw-in. Oh, no, he's given it to Palace. Wow. They've had a good battle in this game, Ayew and Trippier, down that left-hand side. Palace throw-in. Mitchell has it, trying right to the byline, gets the ball across. Oh, how's that got across there? And Maxi now brings it away for Newcastle United. He's got Dan Burn in support. Maxi is tripped. That's a yellow card. He took one for the team there. There's no doubt about it, because if Maxi had cut inside, he was away. Great play there from Maxi. Good positive stuff. Looking to burst forward. If he got inside there, he was away. And, of course, tripped over. Nice to see Maxi actually get straight back up from that. So Decorah is in the book. Over 1,600 watching now, guys. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also hit that like button for us. Come and join this incredible community on the Toon Review. Lots of football banter. Yes, we're a Newcastle channel, but we have many subscribers who aren't Newcastle fans, who just love the football banter. Bruno flicks it back now to Kieran Trippier, who's the last man back. Trippier fires it forward towards Isak. Isak rises up and gets a nod down. Here's Maxi now. Maxi inside to Longstaff. Longstaff back to Joe Linton. Joe Linton into Maxi. ASM back to Joe Linton. Joe Linton will cut inside now. Creates a bit of space for himself and whips it out to the right-hand side where Trippier is waiting on the halfway line. Trippier brings it forward out to Fabian Schär. Schär into Bruno. It was a little bit short for Bruno, but he did really well there. Murphy cuts inside to Fabian Schär. He's a lovely ball from Schär to Murphy. Murphy across! It comes to Maxi in the back post, and it's deflected over the top for a corner. We just couldn't get on the end of it again. Great bit of play by Shea and Murphy there. Murphy rolls it into Fabian Shea, goes on the run. Shea sees it. Brilliant ball in from Murphy. And, we just couldn't get a foot on it. It came to Maxi, and by the time he let the shot go, it was blocked. But again, wonderful football, but again, just can't put it in the net. Corner again from Trippier. Goalkeeper punches it this time as far as Murphy. Murphy, that's an awful ball in. I don't know what he was doing there. Longstaff up for a header. Cleared away by Palace now. And Will Hughes. Hughes skies it out to play. Palace know they're under the cosh to try and hang on for a point here. And they're going to make another substitution. As we come into the final minute of the 90, still no goals at Selhurst Park. And it looks like, I think it's the Corey going off. No, sorry, it's Edouard going off. And he's replaced by Ozo. Ozo the Bozo comes on and hopefully doesn't have any effect on this game. Newcastle in possession with Longstaff. Good little turn by Longstaff. Plays it out to the left. Dan Burn inside to Maxi. Nice football. Lovely little turn. Longstaff in the box. The cross is too deep. And it's a goal kick to Palace. God almighty, let the bullshit in my sock. This is unbelievable, man. Honestly. Not a great ball by Longstaff. He was on his left foot and it just fell out. But anyway, we're into extra time now. I didn't actually see how long he'd given there, but anyway. Injury time now. And Palace have a corner. 4 minutes of additional time. 4 minutes. And the flicked on. Trippier belted away for Newcastle up the line. Isak, he's going to give a... Isak just tried to roll Will Hughes there. Hughes throws himself to the floor for another Palace free kick. And Palace aren't exactly hurrying around with this, but this is one of them frustrating games, guys. It really is. The end product is just... We're struggling to find the end product at the minute. We really are. And the Palace fans willing this ball forward now. Mitchell launches it toward... Well, there's nobody there. Headed away by Byrne. I don't know why he didn't nod that back to Nick Pope there, but never mind. Here's Maxi on the left. In his own half. Not the time to do the dipsy doodling there, Maxi, matey. We've lost the ball. Throw into Palace. And again, in no hurry to take the throw in. They know they're in the attacking zone. They know they maybe create one chance. It's on the right-hand side now. Palace knocking it around, but they're going backwards. That'll suit us. Will Hughes now for Palace, bursting forward. He's got Bruno all over him. Ozo now. That's a nice bit of skill. Ball comes whipped in, cleared away by Sven Botman, and another Palace throw in. This is not the area of the pitch we want to be in injury time. We want to be up the other end trying to get the winner. The Palace fans urging their team on to try and get a winner, but Christ, my arse, do they not deserve it. Longstaff, that's a lazy clearance. Will Hughes on the edge of the box. Fabian Schär is there again to belt it forward and relieve the pressure. Jacob Murphy belting after the goalkeeper at 100 mile an hour. It almost got there. Great effort from Jacob. And the ball is played forward again. Dan Byrne all the way back. He will launch one forward, but it's out of play and a Palace throw. And Palace doing all the attacking here in the injury time period. Palace fans there looking full voice, but there you go. So annoying, man. So annoying. Again, we need to work on this final third. We need to work on the finishing. It's just really frustrating. Every single shot we've had has been straight at the goalkeeper, and that's really annoying. Elise now, all the way down near the corner flag. Joe Linton wins it back for Newcastle. He's pulled back. Jason Tyndall's been booked. And Joe Linton having a little to do with Elise here. I'm not sure what happened there. Nick Pope's quickly off his line to get the ball. And everybody just calming everybody down. I don't know what Guy's pointing at. I wouldn't mess with Joe Linton, you little shit. Big man syndrome there from Guy. Everybody trying to calm the situation down. So Joe Linton has been booked and Elise has been booked for that little handbags there. A little bit of frustration creeping in, I think, with Joe Linton. I think that's all that is with him. Yeah, just pulled Joe Linton's shirt. Joe's just frustrated, man. I mean, Joe Linton's a man mountain competitor, and then Dan Byrne comes in, who's about 9 foot taller than him. But the injury time is up. And there we go. It's finished 0-0. I think that's very, very disappointing, guys. Really, for me, 2 points dropped without a shadow of a doubt. So disappointing. We had chances to score. We haven't. We've just been hitting the keeper time after time after time. And that has been what has been disappointing today. You know, the amount of times that the shots just went straight into the keeper's arms from really good opportunities. Really good opportunities. But listen, guys, I mean, we've got 1,700 watching. That is incredible. Thank you so much. Please do hit that like button and do subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. We really do appreciate it. We are a Newcastle United channel. However, as I've said many times, we do have a lot of other clubs fans following us and subscribe. So please do hit that button. It is free to do so. Come and be part of this incredible community on the Toon Review. I'm joined again by Billy Bob. And Billy, frustrating again. I mean, the final third is just not there. The football is brilliant, but we're not punishing teams and we're not taking our chances at the minute.
I mean, we've dominated for 90% of that game and come away with nothing. With a point, we should have won that game convincingly. Wilson should have scored from a header. Isak should have scored from a header. Second half alone, we dominated. And that's 3 games we played against Palace, and 3 times they're part of the bus. And 3 times they've come away with 0-0 draws, although they lost the League Cup game, of course. But very frustrating. The work in the final third's got to change. Got to change. Yeah,
I mean, look, I don't want to be too harsh on Callum Wilson because he's had a bad injury. And obviously, we don't know the ins and outs. Sorry, not in illness. And we don't know the ins and outs of it. And we don't know what actually happened with that illness. So, unfortunately, you know, it is what it is. But when you get headers like that, you know, it happened to Wilson, it happened to Isak, and you know, headed straight at the goalkeeper. It should be better than that.
Yes, definitely. Instinctive strikers should be scoring those. We've decried Chris Wood for missing chances like that. We've got to do the same with Callum Wilson, Alexander Isak. Alexander Isak missed one, of course, against Sheffield Wednesday as well, didn't he? Similarly.
He did, but I thought Isak looked really good when he come on again.
Well, he gave us more, didn't he? He ran the channels and he held the ball with respect than Callum Wilson did. And I would you
start Isak on Tuesday night?
100%. Yeah, he's got to start Tuesday. He's ready now. Definitely ready now.
And would you start Maxi as well? Because there is a question that really needs to be asked. Because you know, Maxi looks ready to play. Looks ready to play at 90 minutes. And you know, going away to Southampton, you know, it's the first leg. We don't want to, you know, obviously we've got a home leg against them as well, so we don't need to go gung ho. But I think he would probably like to get the game done before we come back to St James's Park. At least have a couple of goals advantage, and we've got to put the ball in the net now. I mean, this is sort of. I think we've struggled to score goals in the last 3 or 4 games. To be fair.
Yeah, I think Maxi looks ready. He did a lot of defensive work tonight. Fair play to him. He looked really good when he came on. I hardly gave the ball away when he came on. He's ready to start. It's who you drop for him. Do we take Willock out, who's also played well for 50-odd minutes? Yeah. Do we take Longstaff out, who had another good game again tonight? You know, it's hard. It's a selection problem, but it's the ones that you want. Eddie Howe, of course, it's the best one to have. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, defensively, we looked solid. I mean, the one brilliant save from Nick Pope, which was, it just says how good of a keeper he is, that he has nothing to do. And then Mateta hits a shot like that on the turn, and it's a wonderful right-hand save, isn't it? Really quick reactions.
Outstanding save. 8 yards out on the volley, hit full power. Fantastic reactions to get to that. And Gareth Southgate can't fail to be impressed by watching a goalkeeper who's had to do nothing for the whole game, pulling a save like that out. It was an outstanding save. Absolutely outstanding save.
George T, thank you very much again. £5 super chat. Thank you. Great commentary, Paul. I enjoyed the game. Should have taken 3 points, but sort of happy we at least got one. I mean, look, the unbeaten run continues, Billy. It's another clean sheet, which we seem to be getting. I mean, I've never known us have so many clean sheets in a season. It's just, but I mean, it comes to something, how far we've come, really, when we get a draw at Palace, which is a very difficult place to go. Man United have only got a point there during the week. We've gone and got a point there. You have to say, Palace defended well when they needed to, but we also missed our chances, and that's the really, really disappointing thing, is that we didn't. Well, I mean, Ian sent a £5 super chat in there saying we didn't create enough chances. I think we did. We created plenty of chances. We just didn't take them. And that's the problem.
Yeah. They've got a good defence. I mean, Mark Gahey, for all his fouling today, should have been sent off, but he's a hard defender. He's a good defender. He's an international defender. He's played for England. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's hard to get round. The wide players, Mitchell's played for England. I thought Miggy had him on toast most of the game. Ward on the other side's a workman-like defender, but the captain, again, Willock had him on toast. They took him off because they were scared of putting Maxi against him to bring Klein on, who's another international defender. So they ain't a bad defensive side, Palace. They're set out to defend, let's be honest. They're not the most exciting team to watch.
I mean, we said in the preview that, how Vieira might send Palace out, and they would probably go for us early on in the game. They did that, certainly first 5 minutes. We then grew into the game and took the game over by the scruff of the neck, and we were on top throughout. Palace did press us a little bit when they made the substitutions, and obviously extra time, injury time, they tried to press us hard. But, there wasn't a clear-cut opportunity for them. And I think we should have won that by two or three goals, to be honest.
Much better than them, yeah. I agree. I think a 2-3 goal win you couldn't have argued with it. We were by far the better side for the vast majority of the game. They played in fits and starts. They started both halves pretty well, and came into it at the 70-minute mark for 5 or 10 minutes. But, yeah, we should have won that game. We've been profligate in front of goal yet again. It's not the first time it's happened. It won't be the last. We need to start.
Absolutely.
Putting these chances away.
Yep. Arturo, thanks for another €10. Super chat. He says, should have won, but proud of the team. Thanks again. We have to buy this window. Is that another sign that we need reinforcements, Billy, that we just don't have that quality? We've got Isak coming off and Maxi, obviously, but then you look at the rest of the bench and you say, where is the quality to try and, win the game?
Well, we certainly need a third striker. You can't play with two, especially one's injury prone and the other one's just come back from injury. We certainly need another striker, so that's something we need to buy. But we need to move players out before we can buy, I think, and that's where the problem lies, I think. I thought Murphy did well when he came on this day. I thought he came on and looked really, really good.
Well, I mean, that little 1-2 with Fabian Schär was brilliant. It was a good ball across. And again, for some reason, nobody took the chance just to throw themselves at the ball. And then, of course, it came to Maxi. His touch was a little bit heavy, I thought, before he got the shot in. And of course, it was blocked. But
I think if he's dives near post and sticks a foot out, he scores.
Yeah. Which is the case for some of the chances today. But obviously, we've got now Southampton, Billy, coming up on Tuesday. He'll play a full-strength team. There's no doubt about that. But it's what he does with the front three, in my opinion. I think he has to change the front three now. I think they're not scoring goals, which they're there to do. I think Miggy stays in, but I would, obviously I think Isak, I think he's got to rest Wilson. Wilson doesn't look fit at all, and I think he needs to play Maxi, because I think Isak will scare the crap out of the Southampton defenders.
And so will Maxi, and so will Miggy. Three forwards who will scare the living daylights out of them. I think Willock needs a rest anyway. He looked tired when he came off tonight. Although he was just starting to get back into the game when he took him off, strangely enough. But he's run his little legs off again tonight, Willock, and had a really good game. But we need to kind of freshen up the front three and go to Southampton. And I think we'll go there and win. I do, honestly.
Well, you know what it is. We're 15 unbeaten now, I think, in the Premier League. So there is a lot of positives to come out of that game. Yes, frustrating. We dropped 2 points. However, we still played bloody well. Some of that football out there, Billy, was fantastic to watch. The little 1-2s, the first time passes, the movement. The movement is one thing that's incredibly improved, because I remember, under certain other managers, our movement was awful. We were just static. But now, players are all over the pitch in different positions, little triangles, little 1-2s. So although we've come out, without a win, we've still got a point. We've got a clean sheet. We're third again in the league, I believe, because we go, on goal difference again. So, we've got a lot to be happy about.
We're all cheering on to Arsenal tomorrow, aren't we, to give Man United a hiding and keep us in third.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But you know what? Clean sheet, point. A lot of positives, good football. We just need to finish it, put the ball in the back of the net, and I'm sure that'll happen on Tuesday night. But Billy, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow for the review show, buddy.
You certainly will. See you tomorrow. Good night.
See you later, mate. So there you go. That's Billy's view on the game, and of course, we will have the full match review tomorrow with player ratings, etc. On the game. Am I slightly frustrated? Yes. That we didn't get the extra 2 points. But look, as we've just been talking about there, it's a point away from home. It's come to something now where we go to Palace and we're really pleased with the result. We're really frustrated that we didn't get a win because in the past, who knows what might have happened. But look, some of the football was great, but the finishing wasn't there today. And, you have to be honest, it just wasn't there. Now, whether that's, I don't know whether that throws the powers that be into trying to really push for some transfers now, because, these players will tire. That's the worry. As the games go on, let's be honest. We've got a lot of games coming up. It's going to be very, very difficult to keep everybody fit. So, we need reinforcements. It's quite clear we do. But, we will know. We will know that. There's no doubt about that. So we'll just see what happens. But anyway, we'll just we'll keep going. We'll do what we have to do, and we'll work as hard as we can. But thank you very much, guys, for joining me for the watch along. Fantastic 1,700 watching today, which is really incredible. Please do hit that like button for us. It really does mean the world to the channel. So if you can do that before you leave, please, that would be absolutely fantastic. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you like what you've seen, like so many people have this afternoon, please do hit that subscribe button. Free to do so. Come and join this wonderful community on the Toon Review. And we will see you very soon for the review show. Just keep an eye on social media, and that will let you know when we are on tomorrow for the review. But thank you to the mods. Very busy day again. Absolutely brilliant from the behind the scenes. Thank you for Billy for coming on. But thank you to everybody out there for watching and spending the match with me. We'll do it all again Tuesday night, and hopefully make sure that we've got 1 foot into the final of the Carabao Cup. But thank you very much for joining us, guys. And we'll see you all tomorrow again. Take care.